If you we are live. Hello, everybody. This is the robot stream. We're all robots. We're not real. We are clones of ourselves, made of tin and silicone, if you will. Hey, everybody! Nice to see you here. What day is it? It's Thursday. Why is it Thursday? Because yesterday we were in silicone. Where is that guy gone to? Bye, Darren.
He was glitching. I saw him glitching, and then that's normally a bad sign.
I thought he was just being a robot.
Yeah.
No, I think once I mentioned it was Thursday, he went off. Hey, Peter Nike, how's it going, everybody? We've got Nicoletta here. We've got Lego Madness. Howdy, everybody. We've Mark in the chat. We have tons of people out here. Everybody who is here looking for Flynn from Tricky Bricks, he's working. He'll be here as soon as he's finished, so stick around. We've got Brett's Bills. How are you, Brett? Red Carnage, as usual, holding his own in there. We've got Lester. We have got Justin from Building Bricks with Justin. Mama Lego. Lots of Lego madness. Very excited. We've got Knights of Glen. I was hanging out with him for ages last night in various different live streams. It was crazy. So last night we had Jang streaming for hours and hours. We had Mike from the Cool Factor who was streaming. We had another person who I'd never heard of until I went on to Esta's live stream and went over there. And BFAB was, it was like a party. BFAB was there. Will Harper was there. It was mad. So crazy.
Jang was doing the Osprey, wasn't he?
What?
Was Jang doing the Osprey?
Yep, he was.
Yeah. I bet that would have been quite a good one to watch. That. God, what time was he streaming, Si?
Oh, geez, I think he was finished maybe 4:30.
No, about an hour from then, folks. I'm getting up, so
I know. Hey, well, you see, I told Jang on the live stream in the chat. I said I'm going to go to bed. All the best. See you later. And I think I got as far as the other side of the couch, and I fell asleep. And and Brixton had been telling me to go to bed, and anytime they see me, they're always like, "Go to bed, Si, go to bed." So I woke up again on the other side of the couch, and I said, "I'll just see if Jang's still on." But he was doing a raid on the Cool Factor, and
I think Solo's back now. Sorry, he's in the back.
There he is, yeah. So he did a raid on the Cool Factor, and we were all over there. Hey, Solo.
Hello. Sorry, random update. Just decided I'm going to do it now.
Hey, look, speak of the devil. No, speak of the devil. It's Brixine. Hey.
He did.
Yeah, you did, Rick.
And we have Papa's Bricks, Gallifrey Bricks as well. So we were talking about comedians earlier on, and I had something funny happen to me today. So I was just saying hello to some people I normally say hello to on Instagram, and I said hi to Brixar, and he said, bizarrely, he said, "Can't make it today. I was finished at 5." And I was like, "It's okay. I'm just saying hi." The next thing, the phone rang, and it was a video call. And I was like, "Hello?" I was like, "Hello?" I was like, "Hello, Brixar." He's like, "Si, did I just ring you?" I was like, "Yeah." He was like, oh, I don't know what happened. He was in work. And so he accidentally called me. And that was quite weird.
Thinking about you.
Out butt cheeks, wouldn't you, Si?
Yeah.
It was good.
I can't believe you got a booty call from Brixar. That's quite clever.
Now, if that's not a clickbait title, I don't know what is. I got a booty call by Brixar.
You're crazy. Hey, we've got Cabbage Face Bricks in the house.
Hey, Cabbage.
Face.
So has anybody any update on what's going on with the Bricklink sets that are going to be released? What's the story with any? Does anybody have any information?
There was an update about an hour ago, wasn't there, on them? I didn't catch what it was.
I heard loads of them were like, I heard loads were stopping, not bothering. Like 3 of them's already gone, haven't they? That they're not bothering.
Yeah.
No, but there's 3 of them that are allegedly, you can legally say allegedly by a guy who allegedly sold his ideas to a different company. I heard allegedly.
Yesterday, yeah. But they can't do that because once you submit an idea to Lego Ideas, it's theirs forever. That's it. You can't do anything with it, even as though it's yours. You sign it off, sign it away. So like say Cabbage, who's got his Lego Ideas, he can't do anything else with that ever. Though I think under IP law, cabbage, of which my firm has a massive IP department. I think if you make 20% difference, you're legally okay to do what you like with it. But bear that in mind, mate. If anyone submits Lego ideas to Lego Ideas, it's theirs forever.
Forever.
You can get
Forever, ever, and ever and ever. And the guy that does it is called Trevor, believe it or not.
Really?
No, I'm joking. I made that bit up.
Hey,
It describes me forever, ever.
yeah, so Cranky Brick says it's 3 years. It's good to have you here, Cranky Bricks.
Okay, that's cool.
Okay, so they get to own it for 3 years.
And Cranky Bricks is doing her own work at the moment.
Yeah.
How you doing, Cranky?
Are any of you guys excited by any of the sets that you've seen?
I'm purposely not voting.
Yeah, I don't know. I was excited with the Thunderbirds one, but that's never going to happen now. Anything IP based is basically a no-go. Is the Robin Hood bricks, is his one going to be done, Chris?
No, it's not on there.
There you go. There's probably the best modular on there.
The problem that I have with it is it's like a Kickstarter campaign. So if you want like 3 or 4 of the sets, you have to literally put your money where your mouth is and vote on all of them. So it's really, yeah, I don't like how they're doing it.
Well, why aren't Lego backing it? I mean, they're ultimately going to make the money out of it via Lego, via Bricklink. I mean, they own both entities, so.
Yeah, but it's like, for instance, I think you have to vote. So you have to literally like Kickstart campaign it. So you have to say, yeah, I'm interested. And you have to 100% buy it if it wins. But then if you do it like, say there's 3 sets that you like, say they're all £600 plus, and they all win, you've then got to cough up £1,800. It's a lot of money to just put your money, you know.
Yeah. So what happens if your one doesn't get through though?
Well, then you just doesn't matter. You don't have to put your money, but it's all based on, yeah, it's just all look. I don't really understand it, to be honest. I'm just a bit cautionary of it.
Yeah. Do you think they've kind of over-engineered it?
Well, I just worry because those sets are massive. That's why Lego often makes them smaller when they become real sets, because they're like £1,000 sets. And and then through Bricklink, I don't really know how they're going to do. I mean, I think they did it before, haven't they, with like the shooting range one and things. So I think they are like new bricks and stuff. They obviously can get them from Lego, but I don't know. Just
they've done it before, haven't they? So if you guys look back about 2 years ago, they did it then. And I just remember I missed out. I should have bought it when I had the chance. The fire engine. There was a vintage, almost looked like a wooden toy of a fire engine, and that was a really nice set. So I didn't get it.
We have another guest in the green room. It's a person who's new to this particular channel, but he has been on London Bridge Bricks many times, and he is wonderful, and I love him so much. He is Flynn from TRICKYBRICKS. Hey, how's it going?
Hey, dude.
How's it going, everybody?
We are good.
Man. Yeah.
Awesome. Look, and I still showed up kind of almost on time.
You did. And it's nice not to see the green room as well. We're actually seeing the real.
You're seeing the real. Like you're seeing why we usually use a green screen.
That looks good. Looks good, man. I'm digging the Nintendo you've got there, and I'm digging your T-shirt as well, mate. What is it? You've always got to show us. You can't tease us with a bit of X-Men.
Yeah, I'm a big X-Men fan from way back, and actually that's how actually how Richard and I ended up getting into Lego, was because I bought us an X-Men versus the Sentinel set back in the day, and that was our first foray into doing Lego together. So that was fun.
That's pretty cool. All right, a quick question then: who's your favorite X-Men or X-person?
I'm a big Storm fan.
Yeah.
She's kind of like my number one. I'm also a big fan of Nightcrawler.
Yeah.
And then I got to go with the classic Wolverine is kind of, like an eternal favorite as well. But yeah, those 3 are kind of like my top 3. They shuffle for position, some days. Just depends on how I'm feeling.
No, it's cool, man. It's a really good choice. Love it. I tell you what, who's always in there, and he always seems a bit of a, how can I put it, an enigma. And that Gambit, everyone seems to know Gambit as well.
Gambit, it's really funny too, is because now on I don't know. Do you all get HBO Max over there, right?
No, we don't get it.
No.
Oh, okay. Well, so HBO Max it has all the 90s X-Men cartoons.
Oh yeah.
Which I didn't see because I was already, like an early adult at that point and wasn't watching like cartoons. I was watching more. I mean, I read the comics was what I read when I was in high school and I was really into, but man, they are hilarious to watch. They're so weird.
Yeah.
They're like the animation is kind of terrible. And the voiceovers are very hilariously like very cardboard cutout. And Gambit, he's supposed to be Cajun, so like from Louisiana. And what passes for a Cajun accent on this particular show is really interesting.
Yeah. Those are the days. But yeah, no, I used to enjoy all that kind of stuff. When you look back at the 80s, like Thundercats, He-Man, Transformers, they were all quite serious. They really took themselves very seriously.
Oh yeah, well, and then what's amazing about these the 90s X-Men cartoons is they really took the actual storylines from the comic books, which could really get like pretty out there, right? Like and then tried to distill them down into a half an hour show that would appeal to kids, and yet at the same time trying to do these really like heavy, complicated storylines. And I think they were at cross purposes sometimes. But yeah, like I've been recently watching the Phoenix Saga, which is one of the great, story arcs from the from the original X-Men. Like really, really amazing story arc. And watching it, they've distilled it down to 3 episodes, so at least they gave it like some ample time. But it's still really hilarious and weird. Everybody. Like Storm especially speaks everything, like she proclaims everything. Like everything she says, it sounds like she's standing on top of a rock, like talking to a really large group of people. She's like standing in the room, I'm going to the kitchen now.
I've met loads of people like that. I've got to be honest. I don't think it's just X-Men, Storm on X-Men. I'm going to go and put the washing up. No.
Well, and then now that Jean Grey has turned into Phoenix, she is now also proclaiming everything. And she's kind of like stealing Storm's thunder, if you will. Sorry, that was terrible. In the proclamation department, but there you go.
I like a bit of Storm action. She's pretty.
I used to watch Batman the animated series. Then X-Men was on after it, and then there was another one called Batman Beyond, if you remember that, which was like.
Mm-hmm.
A futuristic Batman, and I used to think that was the coolest thing ever.
He's quite good. I like that.
I missed out on Batman the animated series when it was on because again I was like at a time in my life where like probably didn't have a TV around all the time, like wasn't doing a whole lot of that. And that's another thing that's on, I believe, HBO Max as well, is the all the original. I was wrong. Disney Plus has the X-Men. And HBO Max has the Batman. Sorry, getting my streaming services mixed up here.
We do have Disney Plus over here.
Yeah, we do have Disney Plus.
Oh well, then you may well be able to go watch them proclaim everything. It's pretty amazing.
I've been listening to the old 90s band, the Proclaimers. Maybe it was something about the 90s or something like that. But so I just started watching the Batman animated series, and I can see why it's such a popular the art style, especially at the time. Like nobody had done that real like 1940s style comic book art. Like they really went there with all of it.
The voice actors are incredible as well. Like
really.
I think DC have always done pretty decent animation, though, haven't they? It just seems to be Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse just seems to be kind of completely out there. I love it, I really do. Even though some of the animation of it is questionable because it seems to suffer from a bit of slowdown from time to time. But I'm thinking that must be by design. Si, you've seen Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, haven't you?
Yep, I loved it. The difference between me and animation and kind of action is I'm always my brain has been trained to look for continuity errors. So that's because I studied TV in college, and then I worked in TV sets and different TV shows and stuff. So like I'm a nightmare at the sippy side watching TV, because I'll say to Lorraine, "Oh man, I mean, she had her hat on in one scene, then she's got the hat off, and then it's on again." And she's like, "Shut up!"
I went to university with people like you.
That's so funny. So I did the same thing. I did that exact thing last night. We were watching Doctor Strange, and there's a scene where he like gets mad and like throws his computer like off the table, and then he talks to someone. She talks. It goes back to him, and it's right behind him, sitting on the table. And he hadn't gotten his powers yet, so I know he didn't just like magic it back onto the table. Yeah, so
I like it when you're watching those scenes and the mic comes down, and you think, why has no one spotted that?
Yeah,
that's well, those are, fortunately, I don't think that happens much anymore. That happened a lot in old movies. Yeah. And
it happened famously in that movie, didn't it?
Wait, in which movie?
Silence of the Lambs.
Oh, did it?
Yeah, there's the scene where all the coppers, I think it was in a boxing ring or something like that, and there's a lift coming down, and all the police are like, they're thinking they've got to go up, and then all of a sudden the lift's coming down. And I forget who the actor was. It was quite a famous actor that was in it as well. He sang a particular famous song. Can't remember who it was anyway. And they're all waiting for it to come down. And as they're all waiting for it, as they're like doing this, the mic kind of drops down like that. And then it goes it's like no one ever saw it, but it was like...
It's the same as Braveheart as well, aren't they? You could see the entire production team car in the motorway as well, behind there, just there. Yeah.
And Ben-Hur. There's a whole camera crew on the hills.
Oh, sure.
Yeah, he's going around in the chariot, and there's the camera crew like this, looking at it.
Well, there was that quite famous on the internet thing that happened on Game of Thrones, where there was like a coffee cup on a table.
Yeah. That happened way too many times. Let's not go there.
It was. That was. I just remember that being a thing, and everybody freaking out about it.
Wasn't there a James Bond movie as well, where it was the one where it was a Roger Moore one? I remember that, and the car has to go through an alleyway, but the alleyway is only about 4 foot wide or something, and the car goes in like this, but comes out like that. Honestly, it's the worst case of continuity ever. It literally went, and they thought it'd be quite funny just to leave it in there. Otherwise, they would have cut the whole thing out. But it was like, hold on a minute.
Well, and that's that's always the classic. Like whenever somebody is like spoofing a bad TV show or movie, that's always like the kind of go-to gag. Like you see the microphone like drop down, hit somebody in the head.
I've heard that on the latest, because obviously Friends is becoming quite popular again now, being on Netflix and stuff. And I've heard that originally we used to watch it in 4:3, but they did film it in wider. So apparently certain shots now you can see that the actors aren't the actual actors, where they were just off camera, but they had them filled in because they were obviously famous.
Yeah, my missus, she picked up on so much of that.
Yeah,
really?
There's a lot of it now, but obviously we never noticed it before because they were cut off on 4:3.
You can there's actually certain scenes as well where they kind of like the camera just kind of went to the edge of the set and you can see half the crew like
because they never really cared before, but now it's shown in widescreen. It's really obvious.
Oh wow!
I remember.
I think it was on. I can't remember if it was on Disney Plus or on something else. But when they first started showing The Simpsons, they were like showing the 4:3 in widescreen, so like everything was super stretched out and weird looking, and it took them a while to fix it. It was really weird.
It was absolutely freaky. I think they were saying that this could be the end of The Simpsons. It was like Bart looked like he was like 4,000 pounds worth of weight.
Maybe they did that with a Jack Snyder cut.
Flynn, okay, so I've wanted to have you on for a while, and I think now is a good time to get you on because in about, I don't know if you know this, so first of all, no spoilers. In about 6 weeks' time, Lego Masters USA will be on the TV in Ireland and the UK. It's going to be on E4 on the 1st of January. It's not January, June, and it's gonna be brilliant because I haven't seen it before. So 2 minutes. So Nullig is coming in. So hello, Dad. So, you, without giving any spoilers, can you tell everybody? I know you've done it on Greg's channel, but I think we've got some new people here. So, can you tell us what you and your husband are all about, and why you decided to go into Lego Masters, and what was life like after it?
Oh, sure. Well, so like now I'm thinking of 1,000 things. So, like I said, we got this. We picked up this X-Men Lego set and built it, and this was about 5 years ago now. And then we jumped kind of like headlong into mocks immediately after. Like we just were. That was like really into trying to make our own things. We both come from theater. So Richard is a professional lighting designer. Does a lot of that kind of stuff, and I've been on stage and as a director and a musical performer and all that. So we sort of, when we took on the hobby, we decided to kind of, neither of us were doing much theater anymore, and you know, we've kind of become homebodies and stuff. So we decided, like, well, what can we do that would be fun? Like, where can we pour all of that energy, that like art energy into? And we decided to pour it into Lego. So we, on our first outing, we did a very large layout. It was our first mock that we showed in public at Bricks by the Bay, which is our local brick convention here in the Bay Area in California, where we live. And the theme that year was California Dreamin'. So we conceived of the state of California if it was a theme park ride. So like if I was going to go on a theme park ride tour of California, what would the things be that would be in it, right? So we did that and had cars that went around, and we ended up going home with Best in Show and People's Choice that year, which was really exciting. So the following year, like we built a bunch of other stuff, and the following year we decided to take something again, and this time we decided on something much more complicated. It was a whole a mountain that told a story as you went up the mountain, a story of adventurers going off. It was called Treasure of the Snake Queen. You can see video of it on our YouTube channel. It was like a, you know, we called it a show. It was basically like a 2-minute show that like followed these adventurers up a mountain to a battle at the end. And second year out, we took home Best in Show and People's Choice again, second year in a row, which was awesome. And, you know, very, thank you. It was very gratifying. And then after that, we were like, okay, I need a break from like the 6-month mock projects, like, because those were, you know, it's like intense, right? And then, so we were doing a bunch of smaller stuff. And then I guess I started getting contacted on social media via Instagram, Flickr, a couple of other places. We weren't on YouTube yet at the time. And they're like, hey, we're casting for this show about, you know, called Lego Masters, and people are going to be, you know, building Lego models of competition. And I was familiar with the Australian version and knew there was a UK version as well at that time. So I was pretty, you know, familiar on how it all went, and we talked about it. I was like, well, is this something we really want to do? And they're like, okay, sure, why not? Why not just talk to the person? What could it hurt? Probably not gonna get on, but we could at least go. And then, you know, it was about about a 5-month process, like going through all of the stuff. And I can't really talk about the stuff leading up to the show. It's not really stuff I'm allowed to talk about, but we ended up getting accepted, and we were like, wow, this is crazy. I can't believe this is happening right now. Like, how do you, like, it's a weird thing to reconcile, right? And also too, you know, there was a little bit of anxiety and anticipation, you know, involved in that too, because we are, you know, we're a gay married couple who's going to now be on national television. So there was kind of that like added layer of pressure on top of all of the rest of it. It was very interesting, but I also feel so lucky that we were able to do it together and build as a couple, because other than Tyler and Amy, there were no other teams who like built together in the way. And even, Tyler and Amy, and Tyler is amazing and Amy's great too, but you know, Tyler is the builder in the family and Amy helped him out, and you know, he would show her like, here, make this thing, and then she would make a bunch of that thing, and they made incredible stuff. But it wasn't quite the same. Like, I think we were unique in that way that we had a lot of experience building and making art together. So that's how. So that was what happened heading up to it. And it's funny. I see the show as in sort of like 3 distinct parts. So there was like the lead up, like the audition process, and oh, thank you, Brixine, thank you. There was the lead up, then there was the filming of it, and then there was the after part. And you were asking like what the after part was like. We kind of experienced interesting things. We went to Bricks LA, which is it was in January of 2020. And the show had been announced, but they hadn't really, like, they'd kind of shown the cast, but nobody really knew. Like, I knew people, you know, at the con, but people weren't like, hey, aren't you those guys? Like, there were several of us that were there. And then we were kind of joking around. We're like, oh yeah, well, this is the last con. We'll be able to fly under the radar. Like, there won't be this anymore. Kind of just like, you know, joking. And then we ended up going to Bricks Cascade, which is in Portland, Oregon. And that's when the whole thing like went bananas. Like, I have never seen, and actually everybody who attended and was there was like, I have never seen anything like that at a Lego con ever. It was a madhouse. There were people everywhere. They had like set up some little areas for us to autograph. And I honestly thought that we would just sit there, and every once in a while somebody would wander over and be like, oh, hey, you're the, you know, from Lego Masters Awesome, can I get your autograph? People waited 2.5 hours in line.
Wow.
And there were 10 of us there. So there was like half the cast was there, and they had us all lined up, and people just like waited, went down the line, like the receiving line, like took pictures, signed autographs, and just walking through the room was near impossible. Like, I had to just, I told Richard, I was like, I have to go to the bathroom. Like, we got to go, just look at the ground. Don't look at anybody in the eyes. Like, just look at the ground and just like make way to the door. But it was so cool. It was really a fascinating experience. And then, unfortunately, COVID happened before the series had finished airing here. So pretty much that was the aftermath, like that, like as far as like the public was concerned. But then as soon as lockdown started, and kind of like we started a YouTube channel like many other people, and we got I don't know, people liked it and hung out, and they're still hanging out, and we just celebrated a year on YouTube, and we're now at 217 episodes.
Wow.
So it's been an incredibly weird and awesome journey.
That's fantastic. It's quite exciting as well, because you know you represented your both communities, as in Lego and the gay community, which is brilliant. And it must have been a little bit, as you did say, it was a bit of pressure, but it was one sec for a sec. Oh, that's not what the button I'm supposed to press.
Oh,
That's Solo trying to hide his Lego under his bed, by the way.
Just in case we hear something we're not supposed to hear. Yeah, so it must have been exciting, but it must have been a little. When you say it put a little bit of pressure on as well, did you think you get negative feedback?
I did. I really was. I mean, we're both in our 50s, and so we grew up in a time where, you know, you never saw gay people on TV. You never, like, you couldn't just like walk down the street, and you still can't in some places. You couldn't just walk down the street holding hands with your partner or anything like that without some fear involved. So there was definitely that kind of nagging sort of, I don't know. I don't want to speak out of turn, but like the closest thing I can, like the closest term I can think of is like PTSD. Like after living your whole life, like worrying about like that.
Yeah.
And I gotta say, overall, it's been really positive. And the negative reactions were very few, or at least from what I saw. Like obviously I didn't go out looking for it, but I was I felt very fortunate, and I knew I also had, we had a cast of 18 other people who supported us unwaveringly, right? Like we all went through this together, and so I felt really fortunate in that way. I think the one thing I did see was, and I felt this sort of like funny sense of accomplishment about it, but it was on CBN, which is the Christian Broadcast Network, which is like the largest United States Christian, like it's a TV network, right? Like that's where all the evangelists, like the big time ones go, and they like wrote an article called like pushing, Lego pushes, gay agenda on TV. And he wrote that like this guy wrote that he had watching the show with his kids, and 2 of the contestants said that they were married, and how am I supposed to explain that to my kids? I was like, that we're married. Like
welcome to 2020.
Exactly.
And I felt a small sense of pride of like, wow, we made it to the big time. Like we got called out by the biggest Christian broadcast network in the country. So that's something.
Yeah.
Did they damn you, Flynn? They're gonna burn in hell.
Probably. I mean, not in so many words, but practically. I'm sure that was what the thought process was. But it was just that whole like, how am I supposed to explain this to my kids? I was like, what? I don't understand what there is to explain.
Guessing he doesn't watch RuPaul's Drag Race.
Right. Here. I was like, if that bothers you, try this.
Yeah. Yeah. And I say that as a fan, by the way. I absolutely love RuPaul's Drag Race.
Oh yeah, and it's and it definitely shows on one tiny facet, right? Like that's one tiny facet of the gay community, but people love to, and a very glittery, fabulous facet, but it is one small facet of a much larger.
It's really interesting. I watched a documentary on Netflix called Circus of Books, which is about a bookstore in, I think it's Hollywood, and basically run by these 2 Jewish people. That it was basically a gay porn store, and it's amazing, like the actual stories and stuff, and you just think how people, like you say, had to go in there and hiding and stuff during that time. And it's really crazy when you think about it. And it wasn't even that long ago. These guys are still alive. They're closing down the bookstore now. And it's mad. It's such a different time.
It is. It was a very different time. And, unfortunately, at least here in the United States, there are still many places where it's that bad.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Still. Still many places in the world where it's that bad or worse, really. If for being honest here, but still, back to sort of
all over the world. But thank God, it's more the norm now in the United Kingdom. Certainly in London, it is, folks. Honestly, stand on London Bridge for 10 minutes, folks. You'll see every walk of life there is. Honestly, and that's the beauty of it. And also as well, we've got some brilliant theatres over here as well, Flynn, as you of course well know.
Yeah. Well, and also, but I'll just say that really it didn't come out the way it certainly didn't turn out the way I expected. And I will say that people found other places to turn their ire. I'll just say that without giving any spoilers. But we were very, very fortunate. And, people are often, they're like, oh my gosh, you guys are amazing. You're Lego masters. You're on this thing. And what I say to them is like, thank you. And yes, I feel like we are really good builders and we have a lot to show. And also at the same time, we're just 2 guys who got lucky, right? Like we're just 2 guys that got picked out of, whatever the list of, 10,000 people or whoever. I don't know how many people auditioned, but and at the same time that I am sure, and I don't mean this as any offense to Fox or Lego Masters or anybody, but I'm sure us being a gay married couple checked a box, right? Like,
I do think that like that did really well in that in terms of diversity anyway, and I think that was a good good thing as well. But obviously for America, because it's founded on diversity and stuff, to have all these different people from all these different walks, I thought that was a really good thing about the America Lego Masters. I really liked the Australian one as well, to be fair, like with his the guy with his grandma as well, and they were really good builders.
Oh, they were so sweet. Yeah, they were great.
I haven't finished the Australian one. I thought the Australian one came out after the American one, which is quite interesting.
No, Australia. So I think UK was first, and then Australia after that. And my favorites from Australia season 1 is Maddie and Jimmy. They're like my absolute favorite. I love them so much. And they are hilarious and super funny. And we actually had them on our show. Like we had to do a special like late night show so that like the Australia time thing worked out. But we had so much fun with them, and they were so fun. They were like the mirror universe us. Lots in common.
The Australia one, when I heard that was actually on TV, they kind of went through that in like a week or 2 weeks or something like that. They showed an episode every night.
I've never seen
really?
It. Yeah.
Brixie, you're out there. How did they actually show it? I'm sure it was kind of over and done with in like 2 weeks, because I remember every day there seemed to be an update on Brickset about it.
Wow. Yeah, I had to watch it on a VPN to watch some of it, and I had to VPN to America to then watch it or something. It was some weird thing like that. So I never got to finish it because it was so hard to try and find the episodes.
Yeah.
Well, that's a good segue into telling everybody that the date that I looked up is wrong. It's actually coming out in 2 weeks. It's the 13th of this month it's going to be on, and it's going to be on the same channel, E4. So thanks to Just Build It, Lester, and there was 1 or 2 other people that said it, Brickbods, I think, as well. So it's brilliant. It's even sooner than we thought, which is awesome.
I think it's June the 1st, which season 2 starts, isn't it?
Yeah, they just announced that yesterday. So season 2 US will start June 1st here. So
we'll get
we're about to welcome 20 new people to our family, which I'm really excited about. Cool. So,
do we know anyone that's going to be doing that, or is there anyone?
They haven't announced the cast yet officially.
Right.
So
I reckon I know one. I reckon I know.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah. We keep saying the name, and we're allowed to say the name because he didn't say he is or isn't doing it. So Moto is one of the people we think might be doing it. And then I don't know. I think I take everything BFAB says with a pinch of salt. I think he applied and he didn't get.
If BFAB was on it, if he was on it, we would know about it by now.
Oh my god!
Hell, he'd have kept that quiet.
Well, I'll just say I'll just say this: when we went on the show, we signed a whole lot of papers that said that we would owe someone a whole lot of money if we let anything slip. So
BFAB is working at the moment, so you never know.
They do not mess around.
How long is is that a lifelong NDA, or does it run out, or what?
I'd have to. Well, I mean, the really big part of it was them saying before the show aired, like we couldn't say anything, like we were not allowed to say anything, and then obviously as the show went on, we weren't allowed to give anything away that was coming up. Like we could talk about it once it was out. And then the big thing after that was we couldn't really, I think it was a year. So we may be coming up on it, but it was a year that we weren't allowed to talk about stuff. And then we weren't definitely not the audition process was one of the sort of just don't talk about it ever type of things.
Wow.
It was a lot of papers. I signed my name a lot.
Did you get to speak to Will Arnett much, or?
Almost every day, a couple of times a day, probably.
Wow.
So
what was he like? Did you actually get to hang out and have a cup of tea with him? And was he doing Batman voices?
Oh, that okay. Funny that you would ask. He was doing, he was doing voices. He was very funny, and we weren't allowed to hang out with him or Jamie and Amy when we're not when we weren't on set. So there couldn't be any whiff of like favoritism or like talking to them or anything. So that wasn't like hanging out with them wasn't a thing. I did get to when we filmed the final episode, I was actually able to have a moment with each one of them, like just as a person and not as a contestant in a show. So that was really great. But one of my favorite memories, I have two favorite memories of Will. One of them was there was one episode where we were having a particularly stressful time, which, wasn't unusual. It was an intense situation. And he like came over to our build table and like pulled up a chair and just like sat and talked with us. And it wasn't like any kind of, like chat about the show, just general, like chat. And he was very chill and very just like it was very calming, actually, believe it or not, because he's very what you see is like wow all the time. And he was very funny. But there was one time when he came over and we were building, and Richard said, look, he's like, look, I don't want to, he's like, I know you're probably not allowed to do that, but he's like, could you just do the Batman voice for me? Can you just say I'm Batman? And he was like, he's like, I don't know, I can really do this. He's like, here, come down here. And then I was standing up there building, and the two of them went down underneath the table, and I just hear this, I'm Batman. Oh, it was so good. Yeah, there was, but he was a very engaging, and I felt empathetic host. Which because of the way that was edited, you didn't get to see as much of that. But he really was, and Jamie and Amy too. They, when people would need to be let go, as they do, each episode, it was extremely emotional for not only the contestants, because of course we formed our own little tight-knit family, but it was definitely emotional for them too. And there were, especially as like time went by and more people and less people were there and more people had gone home, the stakes got really high. And I saw Jamie and Amy and Will all at times get misty, get a little teary at certain times or and stuff like that. So it was I know it's easy to think about reality TV as just being all fake and just very surface. And that is, honestly, of course, what you see a lot through editing. But it was a very real and very emotional experience.
That's pretty much what Brickscene was asking. Yeah, I know you guys got quite emotional times. Was it really stressful? So that's your answer, Brickscene.
Well, but I mean, as far as like the stress goes, like I know that like after the show came out, there were lots of people, and I know this probably happened with every season, but there were lots of people who was like, oh, I could have done so much better with that. Oh, I could have done this. Oh, I could have done that. And you don't know what it's like until you are there. And building under a clock is extremely stressful.
I know. I try and do it on Wednesdays with Greg. It's terrible.
Yeah, right. I mean, it's like, and especially like building a mock on a clock is difficult.
Mock on a clock. That is a good name for a stream. I don't know.
Mock on the clock.
I like that.
And then of course you've got like, there's cameras everywhere. There's people running around. The other builders are there. There's so much to take in and try to also block out while you're doing all that. And and you're like running to the brick pit, and they don't show that you have to like jump over the cables like from the cameras, and like there's people to dodge around, and maybe Will's interviewing somebody and you have to kind of like dodge around and go. And it was it definitely was stressful, but also really, really fun. And again, it's an experience that like as a couple, we would never be able to duplicate. Like that is like a once in a lifetime opportunity. And kind of like I told the I remember being in the very first episode, and all 20 of us were backstage waiting for those like doors to go open, open for the very first time. And I just kind of looked around and I was like, guys, like we are the only 20 people in the world that will ever have this experience that we're having right now. Yeah. Like, even if there's a season 2, they won't have the same experience that we did. Yeah. And that's a really cool feeling somehow.
It's impressive. I mean, it's like the first people who ever did Big Brother. I mean, and it's season 1 will evolve over time. If it goes to like season 4 or 5, 1 will always be different because they'll improve, or sometimes if the opposite word is disimprove. But I'm glad that it's sooner than I thought it was, because I loved the UK one. I didn't see the Australian, and I saw some highlights from the Australian one, and that was pretty good. And I didn't see any of the American one, which is crazy, because when I first started watching Iceberg, I had no idea who he was. He was just a streamer to me, and it's so funny. People were like, "Yeah, he was on Lego Masters," and I was like, "I don't remember him." And they were like, "No, the American one." I was like, "Oh, right, that's cool." But, go on.
No, I was just gonna say, like, definitely the American version is much closer in style to the Australian version. The UK version is very gentle, if you will. Like, I mean, like in comparison, and then the Australian one really like kind of amped it up, and then of course we get it over here in the US, and they have to just like crank up the
UK one's very like, the UK one's very like family friendly. There's a kid and
well, the UK, we can't hurt other people's feelings, so come on.
Right.
Rude.
I do think like the Australian one and the American one have done a lot for AFL community. Like, I think a lot of people have started thinking it's okay to buy, and then obviously Lego promoting the 18+ sets as well. I do think it's massively pushed out that it's okay to like Lego in your 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s. And that's a really cool thing to do, really.
Yeah, I'm curious too, like just thinking about like the timing of all of that, if there wasn't some kind of like marketing study done on like, because I mean, I'm sure there was a marketing study done on, hey, like we showed Lego Masters, because I know like in Australia, sales of Lego after the series went on like went way up, like skyrocketed.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't be surprised to find that the same thing happened here. Like anything, like when the Lego movie came out, I'm sure like sales went up, right? Because it's in the forefront of the public consciousness. Yeah. So people are gonna gravitate towards that. But I wouldn't be surprised to find that those 18+ line wasn't the result of seeing like, oh, hey, you know what, this show came on and it got adults like interested in much more complicated sets.
It's interesting that they did a whole episode dedicated to Star Wars, and then the first 18+ sets were Star Wars. So it's kind of like, they obviously did a bit of research and thought, well, the Star Wars one was probably the most popular episode, I would have thought as well, which probably might have gone.
Yeah, well, this and of course, Star Wars is cross-generational.
Yeah.
Right? Like I'm 53, and I was sitting in the theater when their first one premiered here when I was a kid, right? And it's still happening today, and people are still just as like crazy about it as they were then. And and I mean, I don't know how to explain I always try to explain to people who are younger. I was like, I don't know that you understand what a cultural phenomenon Star Wars was when the first one came out. Like, we had never seen anything like that before. Like we had seen, like the 50s and 60s, like sci-fi stuff was always very like UFOs, and everything was very like clean and slick, and like, you know, like, you know, UFOs are real shiny and clean looking. And then here comes Star Wars with like the guts of the spaceship on the outside, hoses and things and screws and bolts. And it was dirty and it looked like it had been flown around for a long time. And that was like, we'd never seen anything like that before, ever.
No.
And it was huge. And I know people look at it now and go, oh, it's so cheesy. But really at the time it was
I still think bar Marvel, it's one of the biggest franchises of all time, Star Wars. It's like, you know, it's a world that's been created.
Oh, absolutely. And really
also, for years until Marvel came along and took that rooster. I'm trying to think. I've been trying to think that for a while now. What was on top?
So when I was a kid, Lord of the Rings was what was out in the cinemas, and a lot of that was like, oh, Lord of the Rings is better than Star Wars. The graphics are way better and all that kind of stuff. And it's like, well, we'll see in 10 years how it happens. And it kind of died. It didn't have the longevity of Star Wars.
It was the same technology though, weren't it? It was just slightly, you had this slightly computer charm that goes with it. 'Cause it's all done with miniatures and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But Star Wars has just held the test of time, despite the rough times it's gone through with the prequels and sequels. It's still holding up.
It does still hold up, and I think it's interesting in that, like when you talk about Lord of the Rings, is that the difference between the Lord of the Rings stories and the Star Wars stories was that Star Wars was invented for movies.
Yeah,
and so and also because George Lucas is still alive and still doing stuff, they had the option to tell other stories in that same world, which is how we've gotten all the modern movies, like, and The Mandalorian, right? Like, we're telling new stories in the same world. And I don't know if you would have that same kind of option with Lord of the Rings. And if people would, would I want to watch a whole movie about just the elves and like what was happening with like their stuff? Yeah, absolutely. But that may not like be what everybody wants to
You're
do.
going to get that soon with Amazon Prime.
They tried it with J.K. Rowling, didn't they, with Fantastic Beasts? But I know that didn't do that well. So
well, she wrote that.
Yeah.
So I mean, and again, like, and she's written a lot of other books about different aspects of it. And I don't, and like now they're trying to do Game of Thrones spin-off. Sorry, don't mean to say the GOT word. But they are, but something about that, because when you go back and look at the original Star Wars, it's extremely basic. Like the story, it is the hero's journey. Like it is a basic story. It is, like it's uncomplicated.
Yeah.
And
it's a story, just but with a layer of space put over it. It's the Dark Knight, the wizards. It's very close to King Arthur in a lot of respects. With his character
based on it, though, isn't it? It's just hero saves the princess, hero wins the day. Bosh,
done. Yeah, well, that's a classic. And I don't know if you've ever read any Joseph Campbell, who wrote a really amazing book called The Power of Myth, and he sort of I believe he kind of coined that phrase of the hero's journey, and talked about you see these same stories being told, through the centuries, just with different names, right? But it's essentially the same story. And I think that was what made Star Wars so appealing. Yeah. Was it felt like classical literature, or like classic stories, like Greg was saying, like with a space suit on, like with a Wookiee suit on, if you will. So, and I think that's really cool. And I was, and I think that's why it's funny. So are you guys fans of Dune at all?
I've never seen this.
I think I saw it a couple of times when I was a kid. I think it was Sting in it.
Yes.
Yeah. I've seen it. But I know
it's terrible.
But it's got a huge following, though, hasn't it?
It does. It's funny. It has a weird cult following, and it came out like in a similar time, as a few years after. Like Star Wars was still happening when Dune happened, and the difference there was you were talking about extremely dense, complicated science fiction, and when you watch the movie, it opens with like a voiceover, and they throw so many 50 and 75-cent words at you in like a paragraph that you automatically feel lost within the first 2 minutes of the movie.
I'm going to get a load of hate now on here, but I feel the exact same way with Blade Runner.
The original one?
Yeah, I just don't get that movie.
Blade Runner, I agree with you, Chris.
I love Blade Runner.
I just don't get it. Like, I try so many times to watch it. I've watched all the different versions of it. And
Maybe that's the problem.
I like it from an artistic point of view. I don't really care about the storyline. I like the music. I like the graphics. And that's kind of what I look for in it. My favorite film of all time is to most people, it's probably their worst. But it's what you get out of a movie, I suppose.
Obviously, the greatest movie ever made is Highlander.
Oh God!
Okay, get out. Get out.
Yeah, you're on your own neck. You've just marooned yourself there.
Well, I mean, you were already halfway there with your Blade Runner nonsense, but I am. No, personally, I mean, again, for me, like you're talking about movies that were, for me as a kid growing up, those were the first times you had seen. Again, Blade Runner was something we'd never seen before. Like
I get that with Blade Runner, but I don't get it at the same time. Like talking about it is so complicated, that film. It's like
really.
I find it yeah.
I don't know about that.
I find it really
complicated for sort of cloned androids.
No, because they're talking about all this weird stuff about like how they can clone animals, but they couldn't. Animal. It's just really. I always find it really bizarre. And then the bit at the end with Rutger Hauer, where it's going mad. I just think, what is going on? I just never understood the movie. I really haven't.
Yeah, it's good, Chris. Honestly,
fair enough. Fair enough.
It is fair enough. If you don't,
it's just one of those movies that I've never understood.
But if you don't like the film, if you can't get under the skin of it, then fair game. But I mean, look, I always think the best things in life are when you. The first time it happens, you've got Star Wars, you've got Blade Runner, you've got, I don't know, Live Aid. That was a big deal when I was growing up. I mean, but these are things that have never happened before that that have to happen again at another time. But Highlander is
Blade Runner, though. I think the third edition of it.
Highlander's great. Highlander's great. You can't go wrong with Highlander.
Highlander's not great. It's God awful.
Now there's the movie. Flash Gordon, that is bananas. Yeah. I love that movie so much.
It's alive.
Because it is alive. It's amazing. Not the ballworms. Oh, that was my favorite. That was so ridiculous. I love that movie so much. One of my greatest things ever was for Easter one year. I came downstairs and in the Easter basket, jelly beans, colored eggs, and the soundtrack to Flash Gordon by Queen. And it was just, I remember it was a giant yellow album cover that just said Flash on it with a lightning bolt. I was so excited.
It's the whole reason why Highlander
still got that one.
Queen. Highlander, Queen, Flash Queen. Amazing.
Christopher Mick says he doesn't like 2001. See, again, that's one of my favorite movies. That is. I've seen that. I used to go over at the Tate Gallery and watch that at the BFI, and it's an awesome film. It really is.
Well, I think sometimes it depends what was big at the time. Because I always remember seeing Jurassic Park, and in the cinema at Jurassic Park, it was phenomenal. I always remember in that film thinking, nothing's going to beat this. It's absolutely incredible. And I think I saw that film about 4 times at the movies as a kid.
Yeah.
I think as dinosaur films go. Yeah. I think as dinosaur films goes, nothing has beaten it.
Yeah.
Jurassic Park 1, just perfect.
It was everything about it as well, like the animations, the animatronics.
Yeah, they were really good.
I love that as far as dinosaur films go, and I'm sitting here now trying to think of other dinosaur films.
And you can't. It's just Jurassic Park.
Technically, Jurassic Park's not a dinosaur movie either, because half of it's wrong.
That's true.
Say
Hi, Daddy.
hi to Chris.
Hello.
Hey, dude.
Hi, Greg.
Hey,
Flynn.
Hi, Flynn.
Hey, how's it going?
Flynn.
And say hi to
Hi,
Tech.
Hey, dude.
Had his dinner, and he probably has the top button opened because his fat belly is overflowing. And
It's so true.
Look at Nolly. He's like, yeah.
See, now, Tech, I would have stuck up with you for you on that one, but then you had to go and ruin it all with your Blade Runner stuff.
Nullig did not eat the egg. Somehow it ended up in my hoodie. I don't know how it ended up there.
No way.
It's mine. I blamed him on eating this egg yesterday, Flynn.
Oh.
Hi.
Bye. See you later.
See you later, mate.
I know that.
Bye. And don't knock over the light. Thanks.
Take an egg with him.
I have my eye on the egg.
We're going to see a little hand come up in a minute, aren't we?
Look at that. The other thing I wanted to ask you, Flynn, was what do your friends and family or whatever, when you start telling people you were into Lego, what was their initial reaction? Or did you ever have a dark age? Was it always something you were into?
No, like my whole life pretty much was a dark age. I played with Lego as a kid, like because everyone did, I think. Or I shouldn't say everyone, a lot of people did. But I was interested in other things as a kid. I was, going to chorus and going to play rehearsals and doing shows and,
What's chorus?
I was singing.
Choir.
Like, of course, yeah. And then, yes, I was totally that kid that put on shows in the backyard for the neighborhood. Like that was totally me. Big surprise. It was so I had a very, very long dark age. Richard, on the other hand, did a lot of Lego as a kid. Like he got it like every holiday, every birthday. He was one of those kids. And so I had quite a long dark age and didn't get into it until I was in my late 40s, so like 5 years ago or so. Yeah. And it was definitely, it's funny because I did feel you feel a little sheepish, right? When people are like, so what's your, what do you do? And I'm like, I built Lego models. That's like my thing I do for my art. Like, what are you doing now? And I think at first, people were a little bit like, oh, okay, guys, do your thing, whatever you're going to do. And then when we got our first Best in Show trophy, like people started taking it a little bit more seriously. And then by the time, of course, we were like, oh, we were going to be on TV, like that definitely put it over, the edge of being very valid in a lot of people's eyes. Hi, Monica. So, that was, it was hard at first, but people understand more now. I mean, I still think they find it amusing, but they're, of course, being on the show lent a large amount of validity to the process. So.
Yeah, I mean, same for me. Like, I've no problem telling people I'm into Lego and stuff, and but at the very start, I was a bit sheepish, kind of like, because when I told my dad I was into it, he didn't really care or mind because he was into model kind of buses and this kind of thing. So, I think that kind of takes the pressure off when not that I'm a kid, but you kind of want your dad to think it's okay that you're collecting something that's not right. The kind of, the norm, I suppose, but is collecting buses the norm either? So, but I mean, what about you, Greg? You've been collecting Lego for a long time. What do your friends and family think?
I'm completely open about it. Like everyone at work knows about it. They kind of, a lot of people see it as a good positive thing to come out of COVID. In all honesty,
yeah.
They sort of said. They sort of said they always sort of say, oh, how's the YouTube channel going and stuff like that. And then like when I kind of saw most of them, like leading up to Christmas, I was on about sort of 1,000 people, and then they sort of say, how's it going? And I was like, yeah, it's doing right, 8,000 subscribers and stuff like that, and it's pretty good. And but my family completely. I'm like the Lego guy. My godson says he calls me Mr. Lego. You know, he gets all my magazines as well, which is pretty cool. And yeah, and you know, and I don't know. I just think it's a really good positive thing. It's a craft thing. I mean, I'm pretty completely chilled with it. In all honesty, I'm quite kind of. I think as a YouTuber, I'm quite laid back compared to most people with the YouTube community. But I kind of want it to be a positive thing that I like, as opposed to a rod for my own back, because I work in a very stressful environment, and you know, I kind of know where I need to put my energies. But also, I love doing my YouTube channel, so I kind of put a fair amount of energy into that as well. And because I'm gregarious, I like doing the live streams and stuff like that. So I kind of, there's certain things I do at particular times and stuff like that. But yeah, my family back me up all the way, Si. They really do. My mum's quite proud of me, you know, and yeah, it's a really good positive thing to do. You know, it's enjoyable. It really is. So I kind of, and from a social point of view, you know, doing stuff like this with, you know, all the peeps out there in the chat and stuff like that, and meeting different people. Lego is just a small part of this whole thing. In all honesty, it really is.
It's a good point. I mean, like Simon says, there's a lot of people on Zoom calls now with huge Lego sets in the background. Chris, you've experienced that, haven't you?
So yeah, this is my office. So yeah, I do a lot of like I am a designer anyway. But yeah, I was working with a couple of people in Australia, and we were working for about 4 weeks on a project. My desk was this way a bit more, and they just assumed that the background was fake until I went to go get a coffee and walk down the stairs, and then they were like, "Oh my god, that's real! We thought that was a fake background." Which then they realised I was quite into Lego. So yeah. Quite funny.
Are you quite open with them, Chris, when they sort of say to them,
I'm the designer guy anyway, so if you don't have weird stuff in the background, then they kind of they just expect that anyway, to be honest. But yeah, I'm very high strung anyway though, because I'm in a high strung job, and then I take that to YouTube as well. I know I'm high strung. I wanted this to be a little bit of like a calming thing, and it is. But I'm always very competitive and very like want to be the best at something. So that's another thing that often comes out in I try not to be, but I do get that, which is a bit annoying as well. I'm trying to not, but yeah.
That's exactly what I try not to be like as well.
I get stressed if I put a pizza in the oven though, to be honest. I'm on edge for that 30 minutes until it's out. Like that's the kind of person I am. I'm like,
you're so like me. You're so I watch the pizza just so it doesn't go too brown. I'm like, oh my god.
Don't ever put me on British Bake Off.
Somebody calls you and you're like,
if you did it with Daisy Ridley, you'd be there, mate, in a flash.
If somebody calls you, you're like, what? I'm watching the pizza. Will you wait?
What do you mean I'm doing something else at the same time?
Darren, what about you? Lego wise, I don't know if I've ever asked you before. What do your friends and family think of you being into Lego? I know your brother stayed with you for a while, and you were streaming while he was there. Did he think you're a weirdo?
Yeah. Yeah. He categorically hates it. He thinks it's a child's toy. I should grow up. That was his words.
Wow.
Yeah. This is coming from someone who collects model tractors, bearing in mind. So take that as you will.
Well, yeah, that's the funny thing, like that I don't know, like what got me over feeling weird about telling people what I was into was coming to, and I've known this, but it's just like really coming to the realization that everybody has something that they are obsessed with, whether it's sports, whether it's cars, whether it's Lego, whether it's, you know, handbags, like whatever. Everybody like has a thing that they are obsessed with. And, you know, I'm not going to go put like face paint on and go stand in the stands and like scream for the sports team. I'm not going to go sit in front of my TV and yell at the TV when the sports team does the wrong thing. But I'm going to go out and buy a Lego set and enjoy putting it together. And you know what? That's my thing. They can have their thing. somebody's into Star Trek, somebody's into Star Wars. Like
I think the reason why my brother finds a lot of resentment to me for having so much Lego is because we used to share a bedroom at my nan's house. We used to have there's 5 of us in a 3-bedroom house, so we shared a bedroom, and it was a very, very small room. And you can imagine I took up a lot of room, and I never said anything to anyone before, so well exclusive. But I was really heavily bullied in school, like really heavily, and I had some really bad stuff that happened to me in the past. So this was an escape. Yeah, I literally just go up in the room, shut the door, shut myself off from the world, and just builds. And I'm talking about, this is before Star Wars. This is probably maybe even before Barnacle. I can't remember when Barnacle even come out. Yeah, so I'm going right back. So this is my little escape from just the crap that was going out in and around my life. So this was just a nice little bubble. And the problem is it hasn't really stopped. So which my nan didn't care about. You know, she was quite happy for me just to, well, she started getting a bit pissed off with me because the Lego started getting more and more and more expensive as I got older. I was like, oh, Lego's now doing Star Wars. Oh, Mummy, Nanny, can I have a Millennium Falcon, please? It's only 100 quid. Yeah. She soon told me to where to shove that for a start. But yeah, they actively encouraged it. You know, I think they were hoping for me to become a bit more design wise, but no, follow the instructions and just keep building. That's all I kept doing. And then then I made the biggest mistake of becoming an engineer and shoving it on my dashboard. Woo! Yeah, I get ridiculed for days for that one, but I know they're into Lego as well. I'm watching them. I know it. I'm waiting to see that little minifigure appear up on their dashboard. I'm waiting.
You'd be able to bond with that person, and it might cause a chain reaction, and you might find your own engineering love.
I'm going to take the piss out of him for days because he's been doing it to me, and I know he's into this little brick. I know it, but he's just. I'm waiting.
Sorry, and what about you, Tech? I mean, obviously you're a little bit younger than us, but you've had a Lego channel. Like, you're an OG YouTuber. You've got videos that with hundreds of thousands of views, and you took a break and you're back into it. But has your mom ever said, like, you know, you should kind of like stop with that, or does she see that it's your hobby and your passion? And what do your friends think?
So when I had my channel, like back in the day, nobody at school like knew I had my channel, like no one at all. I remember I had a party and I must have been probably 17 or 18, and I had a load of friends come over, and I still had I wasn't still making YouTube videos as much then, but I had a lot of Lego sets out, and I think I had a mock out as well, up in my bedroom. And my mum didn't want like loads of people going around the house. It was very much like garden party, stay downstairs kind of thing. And a couple of my friends went up into my room, and like it was never like no one ever said anything because I don't think it was like a big deal. But I remember like hearing people upstairs, and I thought, oh my god, like I was just petrified. But like now it just doesn't bother me in the slightest. My 2 closest friends, I mean, Ollie's one of them, and he's in the live stream chats quite a lot. He's into it now. My other mate Sam's really supportive. I showed my other group of friends. We were on a call like a couple of weeks ago, and I was like, yeah, my Lego spending has just got out of hand, and I like panned around my room, and they were like, oh my god, that's ridiculous. But at the end of the day, if you're doing something that you enjoy, you could be doing a lot worse things, which I think is the same sentiment that like a lot of my family have as well, is that you could be going out and doing a lot worse things for your money, so spending it on a lot worse. So
I think the only problem I find with Lego is it is an addiction.
100%. I've got a very addictive personality. So any hobby that I've ever had, I just dive straight into, and I go all guns blazing. Like, for example, so before I got back into Lego, I was going to like music concerts and I was going to festivals, and like the year before COVID, I think I did like 6 or 7 festivals and then like 50 odd gigs in the year. Like it was like I just go hard on like anything that I do, because I just love being immersed in something, and I think that is the ultimate like escape, I guess. is just being so immersed in something
that
you can just completely detach yourself from
my
things.
mum to this day always laughs because I used to always do that as a kid. And being an only child, my mum used to always get me all this stuff. And she always remember when I was younger, I did kung fu. And she had to get me all these pads and everything, like geared up for pads for fighting. I did one fight, got my ass kicked, and I never went back.
But Tech, is it? I've struggled to say it's a passion for me, in all honesty. Is it for everyone else in the panel? Is it your absolute passion to do Lego?
Passions and engines.
I don't know. See, passion's a big word for me to sort of say Lego is my passion.
It's a hobby, and it's a hobby that I love.
Yeah.
When I do see sets that I really, really want, I do get a kind of a nervous, oh my God, I need to get that. And I don't know why, but I don't get it with anything else. Music, like I was a DJ, I was in a techno band, and we gigged and we played to thousands of people and stuff. But records, vinyl records, I love them, and I love colored vinyl. That's why I kind of like when you were talking about your album the other day, Flynn. I got first pimples. I was like, oh my God, he knows what it's like. The only two things, apart from the family, obviously, that I've kind of get goose pimples when I talk about.
I don't know if a passion. Is it a passion?
I'm not sure. I don't think it is for me.
Definitely a passion for me.
It's a hobby. I'm the most unobsessed person there is. I can.
Chris, what part of it's the passion?
It is material, isn't it?
The passion for me is that I sleep and dream of Lego. Like I actually go to sleep. I'll wake up in the middle of the night and I have an idea for a video and I'll write it down. So every morning when I wake up, I'm on YouTube checking the numbers or checking Lego news on Brickset or something. Like constantly seeing what's coming out. What's new.
What do you think you find yourself easier to detach yourself from then, Chris? YouTube or Lego?
Yeah, that's the hardest thing. I think I could detach myself from YouTube, but another one is like if I stopped doing the video for a week, I think I could just stop YouTube.
Yeah.
If you got what I mean, like once you're off the treadmill, I think I could get off the treadmill and I wouldn't come back on it.
Yeah.
Whereas with Lego, I've been off and on the treadmill for like it's really funny because when I did my video on Friday about my Lego Star Wars minifigures, and someone was like, "Oh my God, I can't believe you spent all that money on those." I was like, "No. This is 10 years of collecting. This isn't I bought it one night. These are slow. They aren't the ones that I'm collecting right now. These are the ones that I've collected throughout the whole time." So I think I've always been on and off with Lego. Whereas YouTube's a bit different. I think it's more YouTube makes you want to do it. Though it's social media, isn't it? It makes you have to keep going. And
I'm the other way around. I could walk away from YouTube tomorrow.
I'm the same. There is definitely a difference between collecting Lego, being into Lego, and doing YouTube.
Yeah,
I do YouTube. I enjoy it, and I share it. It's a thing I share with other people. But in terms of can I live without it? 100%. Like I'm the most unmaterialistic person going. Like it is, it's plastic, but I enjoy it, and I enjoy all the facets and the benefits that it brings. And I happen to go, I think, a fair amount about it. But in terms of, I don't know, I think being really into YouTube, and I love YouTube, I really do. But I wouldn't say I'm passionate about it, but I'm like that because I'm genuinely interested in it, and I almost want to what's the word? Be educated by it and stuff like that. So that's that's where I'm kind of really interested in it. So sometimes I come across as being quite passionate about something, but then my personality is that the glass is always half full. So I'm a very optimistic person anyway. So I don't know. I struggle. Passions.
I think if you go back to what Flynn said earlier about like people have hobbies of football and things like that, they say that that's their passion to go and watch Man United play or to watch. And so for the same, I completely agree with Flynn. The same thing for me is that Lego's my passion. If they share that much love for that, that's the kind of same feeling I have with Lego when I see like a new set being released or I want to go to we're together. I just consider that is a passion. So
yeah. I mean, maybe that is passion. I'm just undercooking it a bit. I get excited. I want to talk about it, and then you know what it's like. You start talking about the latest Star Wars set that's coming out or that's just been leaked. The next thing you know, you're talking about all the movies again and stuff like that. It all kind of threads into that lot, which is great.
Someone in the green room waiting, Si.
Yeah, and we're going to bring in another member of the panel who we all love, and we missed him last week because he was busy. But and he's got a great tan, guys. It is Mike from the Cool Factor.
Hey guys.
Hey, Mike.
Hello.
How are you?
Hello. Good. Yeah, I found a few moments to join you guys.
That's brilliant. That's brilliant. So I don't know if you've met Flynn before, but you're probably familiar with him because I'm sure.
Yeah, we did meet. Online though. Yeah.
Cool Factor.
Yeah, we've done the Beyond the Brick quarantine cast together a few times.
Yes.
Mike, did you meet any? I know you were allowed to go to the kind of backstage area when the show was on. Did you meet any of the contestants?
I don't think we met personally back then. I was there for a day, but the producers did not allow. The media team was only like 4 people. I was from Beyond the Brick, and there were like 2 other outlets. I think there was one person from Brickset. Brother from Brothers Brick. Yes, but we had a meeting with the producer, then another producer, then Amy, and who was the other?
Jamie.
Yeah, Jamie and Amy, and we talked to them, and we talked to who's the actor?
Will Arnett.
Will Arnett, yes. I have trouble with names. And that's it. But I asked them if I can meet any contestants. They said no. I think that was the day when you guys were filming the finale or something. And I saw Boone, like we waved to each other, like from afar, from his, green room trailer. But I wasn't able to approach him, or like I wasn't allowed. I had to sign NDAs and all this stuff. Yeah, but it was fun.
Yeah, I think at the point when you guys were there, it was not at the very, very end, but towards the end.
Yes,
and
they told us like it's like the few last days of filming.
Yeah, and they didn't want anybody to obviously see who was there or not there. Probably more importantly, who wasn't there.
Yes. So we were allowed on the set in between your breaks. I think they showed us the sorting area, some of the. I've seen some of the builds before anybody else because they showed us the previous before the show was even airing. That was before the show was airing. So we've seen, I think yours builds as well. Some of the Star Wars builds. I think Boone's one of the like builds from 2nd or 3rd episode. They were in the backstage. I had my camera with me, but I wasn't allowed to film there. Or they actually checked my camera if I was filming anything, but I had to ask every time to like, can I film this? Because I was vlogging for Beyond the Brick, and they said like, yeah, you can film here. Oh, you can't film here. You can film this. You cannot film that. So yeah, it was pretty strict. But yeah, it was a lot of fun. Like the backstage was awesome.
So jealous. I mean, like it looked like you had a real good time at it. But have you ever thought of, like, obviously I'll ask the other guys as well, but I know you might be short for time, Mike. Have you ever thought of, are you into mocking, or are you into, building? No. Would you think of going on to the show at all?
I'm not funny enough. I can share this. I think now I'm not into mocks, even though I did apply for season 2. It wasn't me personally, but a friend of mine did apply, and he selected me as his partner and asked me if I can apply with him. So I accepted, and he's more into mock building than I am. Actually, a real life friend from SoCal, and he applied. We had like 2 stages of casting with the producers, but we didn't go through, unfortunately. So I can tell you that. And yeah, I know they announced the show is going live June 1st, the 2nd season. Yeah.
Yep.
So I don't know who's in that. Like I don't think they shared that information yet. But all I know is that they just thanked us for the participation. That's pretty much it. So I was pretty like I was overwhelmed because I know I'm not a mock builder, and yet this friend of mine, he said like, yeah, I know how to build mocks, you know how to be on the camera, we are a good team, and we applied. And I talked to the producers saying like, hey guys, I've been like I've been doing media coverage for the 1st season, is that okay? Because like there was a lot of like NDAs and a lot of rules to follow, and he said like, well, that should be good as long as you're not like real life friends with the producer or something like that, you should be good. Media, and you had no connection with people on the show actually, so you should be good. I was just like independent media, basically.
I'm a fast builder, but I'm definitely not a good builder.
Sorry?
I said I'm a fast builder, but I'm definitely not a good builder. As you know, by the end of my builds, when I have about 40 pieces left.
Funny enough, I don't have drive to build mocks. Like I worked at the Lego store for 3 years, and I like to just fiddle with the bricks in the back and just build random things. But I like when I was designing my stuff for my YouTube channel, I was like, I don't think the mocks are the main drive for me. I just enjoy Lego as a product. So I built the studio around filming. I did not even think about having a Lego room or anything. I just had like, I need a studio for filming. I need space to display sets. I don't need any bins of sort bricks. I don't think that's ever gonna, maybe sometimes I'm gonna have a spark to start building mocks, but right now I don't have the drive or the urge to like design a building studio and actually get into, because like the thing whenever I get into something, I really want to be good at it. So when I got into filming, I want to be good at filming, I want to be good at editing. So if I decide to like go into mock building, I would have to like spend years and years probably to get good before I even share anything. And at this point, the cool factor is growing in a way when I'm most likely like a ambassador for the product in most cases, just sharing the love for the product and sharing the passion for news and getting excited about this stuff and sharing other people's mocks. Basically, I do get excited for what other people build, but I don't feel I have the skills to make my own like name in a mock community at this point.
Yeah. So Flynn, are you working on anything right now, or?
Sorry.
Sorry, I was talking to Flynn. I was talking about like people mocking, because I know you're a massive mocker. Are you building anything right now?
Yeah.
Yeah, I just finished a mock that I posted on Instagram and stuff for Brick Huntress did a challenge, build a city, and everybody was supposed to build a building. Yeah. So I just finished that, and that was like really intense. And then I have Richard and I are going to be we were asked to show our work at the Lego house in Billund in the Masterpiece Gallery. That's awesome. So that was supposed to actually happen in 2020, and then it was going to happen this year. And then they contacted us, and this was like maybe 3 months ago, and they were like, "Hey, like we still don't really know what's going on. Like, do you want to come this year, or if you would prefer, you can wait until next year, and we'll just hold a spot open for you then." So we decided to go ahead and wait on that. So we have that project though that we're working on, and that's sort of a more long term. And then I have it's so weird because, you know, being on Lego Masters and having our show and stuff, like we have a lot of kids that follow us, and there's like so many like mocks that I want to make that I'm like, oh no, I can't do that because like if some kid sees it, maybe somebody will be upset, or maybe like whatever. And so I've avoided ones. But now that season 2 is about to start, I feel like now I have sort of a pass to you know, do some of those things that I really wanted to do that I wasn't able to do before. So
that's cool. I'm supposed to be going to the Lego house at some point because we're going to do a mini honeymoon there when it gets okay. So that'd be awesome. I'll have to see if that, well, I'm guessing it won't be there, but if it is, that'd be awesome.
Yeah, come next year in September, and then we'll hang out and go to Scareback.
That'd be awesome.
I would love to go there. That's like it's kind of like a mecca for yeah, and it's quite not exclusive, but it's hard to get in. But it's supposed to be amazing experience.
I know a lot of I know Brickheart in the chat really wants to go to Billund because he's really upset because he wants that new green the Lego machine that you can get for he really wants that.
Yeah, they're really collectible, man. And I still think to this day, even though I bought a load of them, I think they should have just kept the brick house, the dinosaurs, and that just solely exclusive to that place. Because
they haven't allowed you to buy any of the others. Because I really want that duck, which you can't get yet. So
did not. Oh no, but then I thought they released a load of them to people that
wasn't released at the time when they released all the other sets.
No, I got the Tree of Creativity because I believe that one was going to retire. So I knew we were going. Yeah, so I wanted to get that one because I didn't want it to retire. Well, I didn't want to not get it, but yeah, I waited for all the others because I'm going to just take an extra suitcase, I think, when I go and just fill it with like.
So that's it. That's interesting. Like we were talking about, you know, whether Lego is a passion or not, and I think for me, like art is my passion. Yeah, like I am passionate about art and creating art, and entertaining people. And I think that like I've heard like I am not a day one purchaser of a set. Like I'm not somebody who will go out and spend $100 at the Lego store just so I can get the gift with purchase. And I know there are some people that are really into that, and that's like that. So I think there's like different factors of Lego that you like, different ways that you can be passionate about Lego. And for me, it's just like for me, Lego is art supplies. And yes, I do like, there are some sets that I like. That's great. And you know, if I happen to go in and there, I will say if I go in and buy something and there's not a gift with purchase, I'm like a little disappointed, just because like, you know, you always want the free thing. But I'm also not like the kind of the person who keeps up with what the next gift with purchase is going to be. So I make sure that I've saved my money so that I can go in and spend it to get the da-da-da-da-da-da. And, you know, what I've also found too is, and you know, and maybe it's more true here, and you know, I am in a lug, and we do have like used Lego stores and stuff near where I live, is that anything that is out and that seems like it's that thing that you have to get the moment that it comes out is gonna come around again. Like it's gonna be, you're gonna be able to find it. It is going to be available. I mean, obviously not everything, but I was thinking in terms of like when the CMFs were coming out and everybody's like, oh, they did this one CMF and you'll never get the parts of it again. And what I started noticing was that the build a minifigure stations at the Lego store would start stocking all of the extra. Like I was one time,
after a few months you would get those pieces.
I was able
can tell from experience, like Lego store work. Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, I was able to put together like an entire, like the Cleopatra minifig. I was able to put together the entire thing out of the Build a Minifigure booth, like many months after the piece had already come out, and everybody was like, "Oh, you'll never get that again," and there it was. So
I do think that's what's great about Lego, though. Is like you can be people like they're passionate about the sets, people that are just passionate about minifigure collecting.
Yep.
People that are just passionate about mocks, and there's all these different people.
Yeah, and you guys bring some extra cool points. I can tell, like from a YouTuber perspective, I gotta say I get a lot of flack for not building mocks, you know. And as a YouTuber, like I think people expect more from you. I get flack for two things. It's like behind the scenes, something I try to ignore, but I get flack for not building mocks, and sometimes I do get flack for not getting sets early. And I try to explain to people saying like, you know what, like YouTube actually, like my main drive is I just like Lego, and YouTube is still a side thing as much as you want to deny it. So if you are forcing me to like enjoy my Lego passion the way you want me to enjoy it, that's like, I don't think you're a good fit for watching my channel, honestly.
I wonder if people think, Mike, that because you were associated with Brickfault, I wonder maybe they think that you still have a link that you should be getting it, like that they don't realize you're
maybe because Brickvault it was a business. It's still a business, and they getting stuff early and like putting stuff out was their like bread and butter. For me, when I like right now as I'm on my own, like Flynn's bringing extra good points, because everybody like besides YouTube, everybody enjoys Lego in their own way. You can love minifigures, you can love mock building, you can love just buying sets or just like following the news. There are many ways to enjoy Lego. And I bring this approach first to my stuff. Like I don't make videos if I don't feel like that's gonna be an enjoyable video, for example. Like Lego comes first. I have to have a good nice evening to work with Lego, or just like the feeling that I really wanna like put the camera on this set right now, you know? So, but yeah, I do get negative feedback sometimes saying like, why don't you build mocks? Are you supposed to be like a YouTuber that does everything? Like, well, no, that doesn't work that way. And I think it's just we are all here on this panel on YouTube in some way or another. So I wonder if you guys are getting the same kind of pressure from your audience sometimes, like, because I know I get that. Like sometimes people like it feels like people force me to be what they want me to be. And it's like I'm kind of tired of explaining like, you know what, I don't have the drive to build mocks. I do have the drive to go to the Lego store and pick up the set when I can afford it and share it with you. That's my drive as well. Do you guys get that sometimes from your audience?
Yeah, I get it with my city, because a lot of times like when I do the city, and sometimes it is just putting sets out, and then they're like, oh, well, you haven't got any mocks, your city's boring. And it's like, well, that's my city, that's my show of creativity. And Yeah, and then if I do too many Star Wars videos like I've been doing recently, people moan like, "Oh, you haven't done your stuff in ages." And so
I feel like personally, I feel like I lose motivation when somebody's like constantly forcing me to do some type of content. I was like, dude, like I don't want to do this content. Like, stop.
Yeah.
You know, like lately I enjoy live streams, and it goes both ways. So I enjoy live streaming, and people say like, why are you live streaming? Where are the edited videos, dude? Like, what are you doing? Like, dude, at this point in my life, I enjoy that because my time is cut in half right now with all the responsibilities, and live streaming is just easy and fun to connect with everybody that likes my stuff. And you're gonna have an edited video here and there, but don't ask me like, hey, where is this review? Like, you're supposed to launch it like 2 days ago. Like, dude, let me live my life, you know? It's I wonder, like, I want to ask you guys if you have like the same sort of like situations.
Well, I had 15 really horrible comments on my Kobe ones. I mean, like borderline insulting. Like, it's like, oh my god, you call yourself a Lego YouTuber? Now here you are doing fake Lego. I was like,
but you know what? I think
this community and all that kind of stuff. I was like, whoa,
I feel like it all comes from the fact that there are plenty successful and very good YouTubers that have insane work ethics and can really dedicate their time to their channels. I'm not sure about all of your guys' situations, but in my life, for the time being, Cool Factor is a side activity. And I have to, like, you know, in order to keep my sanity, I have to keep it that way until I quit my job and I go full time and like drop everything to run the channel full time, which is impossible right now. But a lot of people forget that they watch a ton of YouTubers, and everybody has a different situation on how much time they can dedicate, how much money they have, how successful they are, how much time they spent on the channel. Like, we have YouTubers who've been on this game for 10 years, and some are successful, some are not yet as big as they want to be. But the thing is that everybody's situation is different. And, you know, looking from a viewer's perspective, I think it's not visible because people don't see the behind the scenes work, the time, the effort, the drive you have to have, all this stuff that goes behind the scenes. People just see like, oh, you're like smaller like him. Why are you not as big as him? And why are you not putting as many videos as this guy? Well, because this guy can work 8 hours a day on this, and I can work 2 hours a week on this. You know, it's
But
different.
really funny, Mike. You commented on one of my videos a while ago going, "I'd love to see the timeline on this video."
Yeah, your editing is, by the way, insane. I love it, actually. Like, how do you like? You're a mad lad. You have like some crazy drive on edit. If you're doing this yourself, big props, man. Big props.
Yeah. But I do it for a living as well, so I'm similar to you, like an editor anyway. But some of them I was working, and I was looking at the clock going, "It's 2:00 at night. Why am I still working on this video?" And I just do it. Yeah, I've had to turn that back a bit as well. I haven't done it.
The older I get more tired, and like all-nighters are not a thing anymore for me. I used to like be able to like spend all night at the computer just pushing out stuff, but man, it's not a thing anymore.
She's been in bed anymore. Yeah, she's been in bed since like 9, I think. She was on earlier and she just probably fell asleep watching it. So
at this point, sometimes it's just like my wife, just basically like it's like 11 p.m. and like I just like, you know, editing. And my wife basically like stands in the, you know, in the doorway to my studio and is like, "Are you still working?" Like, okay, I'm gonna finish tomorrow. Fine, you know.
Would you like to do it full time, Mike? Mikey, would you like to do it full time? Because I'm not necessarily sure that I would, because for me, it's all about balance. And
it is, Greg. You know, I have a very unique situation because I know how it is to work full time on YouTube through BrickVault. That was a full. That was more than full time. Like I that was my sweat and blood in this channel. Like I was, even though that was like, you know, on paper it was 9 to 5 technically, editor, full time, whatever, and host. In the end, I was so passionate about BrickVault and so into it. Like spending a late night or all-nighter sometimes in the studio was like a normal occurrence, and I was accepting that because I was so into this, even though it was my channel. And I knew how it was, and I know how it is to kind of you know, periodically lose passion for that because I was burning out at least twice, I think. And I know how it is to like when your fun and passion and hobby turns into a chore, and I've been there. And now with the Cool Factor, I try to keep, like when I started the Cool Factor, I try to keep the same like very driven schedule for uploading. And then I was like, no, it's not healthy. And then right now it's I miss having more time for the Cool Factor, and I kind of want to get back to this, but I know how dangerous it is to get back into this full time when your like livelihood depends on it. You know, it's much more. It's on paper, when you think about it, it's much easier, but when you actually start doing it, I think it's gonna be more difficult. So every week I do think like what it would be if I decided to like get the jump and really get into the cool factor full time and really put my my livelihood on YouTube. But at the same time, I have experienced how it feels and how difficult it would be for me, So I think at this point, I'm gonna go with the balance of trying to like run the channel and have it successful in a few years from now, maybe in some certain degree of success, I guess. But at the same time, like I don't wanna overdo myself and prematurely like quit the channel, for example. Do you feel the same, Greg? Like, what do you feel about like London Bridge Bricks?
Right. So I'm quite a very unobsessed person. This is it. You see, I do stuff because I really enjoy it. I'm kind of learning. I'm trying to work at the degree tonight. This is kind of an epiphany for me, folks. Whether or not it is a passion, I think it is. Maybe it is a passion. But see, for me, it's all about balance. Everything has to be balanced, you see. Otherwise, I'll burn out. And I don't want to get to the point where I don't like it anymore, or I feel like I'm forced to do something because I'm in a certain situation where I have to do a particular thing. I kind of do what I do. Like I don't really come under any pressure from people saying to me, "Oh, you don't do enough mocks" or anything like that. I toy with the idea and stuff like that. But I'm a bit of an all-rounder, in all honesty. But I am really into it. I really am. Like I'm highly dedicated to it, folks. I really am. My backlog would definitely reflect that. But the thing is, it's just I've never really thought about it as being a passion of mine, and I guess to a certain degree it is. But something I do feel as well, I think when we all come out of lockdown, and well, most of us in the UK will be in a couple of weeks' time. Yeah. And I think the rest of the world will follow suit in time as well, and there'll be the odd lockdown and stuff like that. But I do think there'll be turnover as well of Lego YouTubes, because the people that are around a year, there was people that I was used to admire a year ago, and they just don't exist anymore. Or stuff happens in their life.
Yeah, absolutely.
Drop out. But I mean, I take my hat off to anybody who wants to do it full time. I just think if you do it full time, then you're doing different content for different reasons. And but then that goes with the territory, I suppose. You've got to do stuff that people want to watch. Yeah. So then you probably have more people on your back saying, "Do you want me to, do mocks and stuff like that?" But it is hard. It is hard. But what people have to realize is that behind the channel are real people with real lives and family and friends and stuff like that. So I'm very good at keeping things into, keeping my feet on the ground, realistic and stuff like that.
I do feel like what Mike was saying earlier, though, a lot of people don't realize that there's a difference between some people that do it full time and some people that don't do it full time. Yeah. People don't get that. So they're just like, "Oh, but such and such has done this massive mock and he only took a week doing it. Why have you not done one?" And it's, that kind of thing.
Yeah. Yeah, no, this is interesting because it's kind of just making me think about stuff that I haven't really felt too deeply about. I mean, I love West Ham United, but I haven't gone and watched West Ham in a year, folks. So,
like from my experience, I would say you can be passionate about it, but being too passionate about it actually hurts you. In my case, I'm not sure about like I think I were more passionate in the past than I am right now, just because I kind of limit my passion, have like a fail safe where I feel like when I'm too tired to work on the channel, or when I feel like I'm losing the drive to make videos, I'm not afraid to take a break. In the past, I was really afraid to take a break. I was like, okay, what people gonna think? Like, if I go off social media for a week, what people gonna think? And I'm gonna have to explain and apologize and do all this stuff. And you know what? I stopped like thinking about it too much. Like even if I take a break, I just do it for myself, for my family. And when I come back, I don't apologize. It's just like, "Hey guys, I'm back," and like, "See the next video." So
that's what I was gonna say, Mike. Don't apologize. I mean, like, I personally don't like when people haven't done a video or two and they come back going, "Oh my god, I was this or those."
I used to be that way, and I don't think it's a very nice thing to do to your audience, and also it's not very healthy for you because you always feel guilty. It's like And the main drive behind running a YouTube channel is yourself. It's your audience is very important because they give you the views and they follow you, then help you grow. But in the end, if it's not for your well-being, there is no channel, And in my case, like I stopped having this behavior, and I just like I pace myself naturally. And I feel happier that way, like I can have like, anxiety or whatever, like to create stuff. But in the end, like if I pace it appropriately, I feel I can still keep going for many years to come. And this is a good thing to say. And I bet a lot of people in the chat are like either starting or running YouTube channels. I think they can relate. That a lot of people say like, oh, I want to be like this guy on YouTube, and like, ooh, and like Greg said, they disappear after a year because they push themselves too hard, and they don't have that experience, that knowledge, that lessons learned over creating content for a long time. Like I've been in this for 5 years over right now, and I know the lows and the ups and how it feels to be on the demotivated side, and how it feels on the super hyped side to grow the channel. And I've been everywhere. It's really crazy. And if you passed some bumps in the road, you are becoming more like secure about yourself, more, you become just experienced and know, like when you feel bad, when you feel the low coming in your motivation, you just take a break prematurely and you just lay it low for a while. And then when you feel like, but also there's this like contradiction saying like, oh, if you're only showing up to work on your good days, well, you're not doing this right? But at the same time, on your like less motivated moments in your life, or like more difficult moments in life, you can create more easy content, or you can just do it for fun and not really look at the views at all. When you're like highly motivated and you have the drive to create some more difficult, more labor.
But don't you think that views motivate you? I know, like for me, when I was posting daily content, right, my average views was like.
By the way, BFAB is here.
Hey, I'm on my work break. I'm driving to get some snacks and still chatting. So I know you guys are mentioning the whole like view situation. The thing is, like when I was posting daily, so the algorithm promotes consistency. I was getting at minimum 2,000 views a video after 24 hours, right? Easy. I then decided I was burned out after posting, 15 days in a row. Took a week off, then it came back and all my videos bombed. And then I took another week off and now my videos are bombing even more. So it's just like, then you get even less motivated, right? So when I'm like, I'd love to post daily again, right? And then all this happens, you don't really want to do anything. It just kills the vibe,
Yeah.
It's sad though, because it goes back to that obsession thing. Because I'm worrying, I'm getting married in 2 weeks or whatever, and I'm worrying about what my content's going to be like.
Oh, wow, congrats, man.
I mean,
don't get married. Simple solution. I'm kidding.
Hey, married with kids, I'm good,
Because I'm like, oh,
Mike already regrets it.
It's doable.
I'll be back. I'm gonna grab some snacks.
Yep.
But yeah,
sorry, go on.
I was saying it's a sad way to think, because realistically, you should be able to have a break. Like, you should enjoy that.
YouTube's all about creativity. Now, if we're all being, how can I put it, driven by the algorithm, then we're kind of in it for the wrong reasons.
Yeah, I mean, my main premise is like the numbers do not mean a lot. They're great if they're high, but I used to get discouraged by the numbers, but ever since I started ignoring it, it's so much better. I can do like a quick recorded 30-minute recording, quick edit video that gets 3,000 views in the first few hours, and I did like a Tesla diecast review that I spent 4 days on, and it got 300 views up to this day. So as long as I had fun and as long as I learned something, and as long as I feel the video is good and I know it got to the right people, I'm fine. Like, I don't know. I think when you look at the numbers, your goals are different, and you either want to, be popular, super popular in the LEGO YouTube community. Everybody wants, but this is not my main goal. Second of all, I think you want to make money from it. That's where the numbers really count. But my personal drive is to just have fun doing it and look at my videos a year from now and see, oh, look, like my current videos improved that my videos a year ago. And I had more people, maybe some people changed their lives by watching my content. Maybe some people became more confident or overcame anxiety by watching my stuff. There's a lot of things that you can give as a benefit from people watching your stuff. And views are, I think, like for me, like honestly, views and numbers and subscribers are like probably tertiary priority over anything else.
I'll tell you something. Mike last night had an amazing live stream. He was raided by JangBricks and his stream. It was like a party. It was really, really
Dude,
cool.
I don't know what happened, because it was yesterday. I was watching Jang throughout my day, because I usually put like a stream in the background to just to like have someone in the headphones. And Jang was building the Osprey, and we just chatted. And I said something along the, you know what, Jang, it's kind of cool watching you. Like, I feel cute today. I might as well stream tonight, because you were streaming and it just seems fun day to stream. And he tweets me like, dude, when you streaming? Like, I was like, I don't know, after 8 p.m. or something. And then I go get something to eat. I come back like, dude, are you live? Jang tweets me like, are you live? Like, no, like I'm gonna be live later. Like, you better go live, because I'm about to send people your way. Like, are you kidding me? And so I really like made the thumbnail, like went live. I was planning just a chat session. I wanted to talk to my people, like, because I have some ideas for the channel, and I would just want to share that without any building. And I just jumped in and like, hey guys, so here's what's going on in the Cool Factor. And then Jang rides me, and I had like 140 viewers at one point. And it was like the highest analytics stream I ever had on my channel. People like drop like $100 in super chats like right away. I was like, okay, wow, this is crazy. So yeah, situation like this, and this example is great to show that it's always, because I wasn't sure I was going to do this stream. I was like, maybe I should like I should do something to like connect with my people and show them what I'm planning to do with those chat streams. And that was the idea. And then Jang read it, and it turned my night around, right? So yeah, it's a good example. You like, if you have something going on, just say yes to it and go for it. You know, it's, if you have a video in mind, don't think twice, just post the video. Maybe, you know, something's gonna happen on your channel and you'll never know. Same for this live stream. Maybe if you want to go live today, and something can happen.
Oh, not while I'm on though. Just stay watching here. So.
yeah, absolutely, yes.
I'm only joking.
So no, that was a lot of fun for sure. Kind of unexpected.
The only way I caught that stream, Mike, was because I said goodbye to Jang, and I was going to go to bed, and I moved over just to the other side of the couch, and I fell asleep again. And then I woke up, and I was like, I wonder if Jang is still on, and Mike was on. And I was like, holy crap, this is crazy. There's madness going on in the live stream.
I wasn't prepared.
It was fun though. I mean, it just shows what a great guy he is. You know, a lot of people won't share. You know, it's the thing that we all do in this community. Like, if when I'm finishing up, Tech usually sees if anyone is streaming, and we put the link in the chat, and we tell people to go and check them out. So it's good that someone like Jang does that, because a lot of people think he's a robot, he's a machine, he's just, you know, but he's a very caring guy.
He is. I didn't never know him from this side. I always thought he's very reserved creator, and like really, maybe not on a throne, but he was very like, you know, I never met him personally, but I always felt like he was very reserved about his content and how he collabs with people. I think he changed a lot. Like right now he's very open and you know, I know he was friends with everybody in the community anyway beforehand. He just wasn't sharing it as much. He was friends with Beyond the Brick for a long time. But now he's very open and really like, you know, helping people out through his position, and it's amazing. So I looked up to him for many years as I was learning how to edit and film videos. Like his reviews were always very inspirational, the way he does them. And just after all those years, like looking at him, like basically giving me a shout out, or he supports not only me, he supports like people like Bricks O'Brien. He comes to Beyond the Brick. He's very open-minded right now, and it's something I was never expecting from him, but it's amazing. And it's like, you know, it's like a starstruck moment. Like he comes to my stream and it's like, oh my god, every time, you know. So really like shows like if you keep going, like good things can happen, and I think that's a good example.
Exactly. I think maybe Flynn has to head soon.
I do actually. But before I go, I just wanted to comment on what we've been talking about.
Perfect.
And you know, like we've been doing our channel for a year, and it's still relatively small in YouTube terms. Like we have a pretty small audience, right? Like we don't get thousands of views or even 1,000 views on even we don't even get 500 views on our videos, right? Like we get a couple hundred views, maybe 300 views. But I think it's important that to remember in all of it is that first of all, make content for yourself, right?
I agree.
And second of
Absolutely.
all, like when you start, like, and obviously, of course, there's a give and take between you and your audience, and you want to also provide your audience with content they want to see as well, right? But you don't need to be ruled by it. And instead of worrying about, and this is kind of how I got it, because at first I was the same way. I was like following the numbers. I was like, oh, how come we're not getting this, that, and the other thing, and how come we're not getting more viewers, and how come not enough people are. And then finally I was like, you know what? Like, I'm going to make content for the people who are here and not for the people that I hope will one day show up, right? Like, I'm like, these people, like, we have a small but extremely dedicated audience, like extremely.
And you know what? It is more important than having a small disconnected, a large disconnected audience.
Yeah,
I
exactly.
want people to come back. And yeah.
Yep. I was just going to say, like, I would rather have a closer relationship with a small audience than it's just a lot of names scrolling by that I don't recognize.
Yeah.
And because so much of it is about community, and believe me, I admire people who can do that. Like, I look at like people like Boone and Jang and people who have like a crazy amount of people in their chat and they're able to like handle it all and deal with it all. And I admire that. And I also have made my peace and am happy with what we're doing and not trying. And I think that if you try too hard to reach for those numbers, it's just a recipe for sadness.
Yeah. It's unhappiness, you gotta go. I mean, excellent point. You do it for yourself and you do it long enough and become better, 1% every time. The success will come. And if you find your niche, and really it's good to have connected people who will watch entirety of your videos than a large audience who will just click away right away,
But I think at the end of the day, you kind of want to mix of both, right? Like for me, it's like I have a decent sized audience. I'm not a big YouTuber, but I have a decent sized audience. But you also want to get the views. You want to get the, like, I know TRICKYBRICKS was saying like he might have a smaller audience, but he has like a loyal one, which I think regarding live streams, you guys are killing it, right? Like you guys are doing amazing things, getting amazing views for the size of your channel. But like, you don't want to also be like plateaued, right? A lot of us YouTubers, we get to this level where we're comfortable and then we plateau and we might feel comfortable, right? But it's like, why not push ourselves to do better,
And you know what?
Because not everyone's in it.
Well, but push yourself to do better because you want to be better. Don't push yourself to be better because that means more people will come. Yeah. Because I think that's where because how do you know what that's going to be? You don't know what people are into. Like the audience here is, looking for different content than the audience on Boone's channel or Jang's channel or my channel.
You're gonna attract, even though we're on LEGO community, I think you're gonna attract different kinds of people depending on your presentation, even your age, anything that goes, like the way you present LEGO, the way, like as Flynn is a mock builder, so he's gonna attract like-minded people, most likely. I'm more like a product reviewer and a news guy, so I'm gonna attract people who wanna talk about this stuff. But you know what, like my drive is like I like to have this 1% better video every time. So like I change a little thing here, maybe something in music, editing, whatever. But when people notice that and somebody new comes, like, you know what, I watched your videos a year ago and I came back, or like I discovered your channel through this guy and I think I'm staying because and they actually had people like chatting or messaging me saying like they list the reasons why they think they're subscribed, and I don't even ask them for that. And that's the drive. That's your measurement of becoming better. When new people discover you and they actively say they will stay. And this is like, I don't care if that's like one person or 5 people or 10 people. As long as like one person, that means I'm doing something right. Yeah. So you mentioned the plateauing, the becoming comfortable in your niche, your audience.
Yeah.
I think it depends on personality. Like I'm never satisfied. Like, I always like, I could add a cable to the studio and make something better, or I could add a third camera or whatever, or I can try to make a different intro next time. And this drives me, like knowing that I changed something and maybe I'm gonna attract new people, and maybe. So I'm never like, I never find this plateau like, okay, this is perfect, I'm not touching anything for the next year on this channel. But I always do, and I think as long as I have this urge to change something, I'm good. As long as I don't become complacent and comfortable with my stuff, I'm good. I can keep going, you know, as long as
but let's say, Mike, tomorrow all of a sudden you got like 5 views of video. Wouldn't you like hate it?
I would keep going. I posted a review that I spent the most time on in a month, and this review got like a fifth of views than I usually get. And you know what? I was worried about it for 5 minutes. And then I was already thinking about next video or the next live stream. And, you know, and I checked like a week after, like, oh, this video got another 50 views. Good, awesome. Maybe I'm gonna share this video once again, like do a quick Facebook post or an Instagram post about this video. Maybe I'm gonna bring another 100 people. You know, you don't look at your videos that they are not dead after like a week, like many people consider. Like, okay, if you post a video, it's not getting views, the video is dead. Maybe you recirculate the video. Maybe remind your audience that there's a video there. Maybe somebody else is gonna watch it. You know, you never know. So I think YouTube channel running is a fun game, and it's like a cultivation thing. It's like a garden. You gotta like always think of ways to like to regrow it, you know.
Mike, we have to let Flynn go because
okay, sorry,
he graciously stayed longer than
I appreciate it.
Probably. But yeah, thank you so much for coming on, Flynn. Hopefully we'll try and get you on a little bit more regularly. You know, maybe to talk about the show as it goes on. We'll work something out anyway, because there's going to be millions of people, new people who will see this, and millions of new people who will be seeing your face in the UK and Ireland.
Yikes, I'm sorry.
Sorry.
It's always nice to see Flynn around. Flynn's a really cool guy.
Yeah, actually, I think we'll all see you tomorrow, Flynn. Greg, do you want to tell somebody something?
Something.
I'll tell them. Greg has forgotten that Flynn is going to be on London Bridge Bricks, London Calling tomorrow, which starts at 7:30.
Yep,
there we go.
I will be there. And then Greg has graciously agreed to appear on our show on Sunday. And Sai, if the two of you can get along and you're not sick of being together on screen, we would love to have you on too on Sunday if you're free. So
I would love it. I actually call Greg my YouTube husband. So yeah,
you'll fit right in.
We'll fit straight in, literally. So no, we'll have some of that. It'd be good fun.
Awesome. All right, guys. Thanks everybody so much. It was great to see everybody.
See you later, dude.
And we'll see you tomorrow.
Yeah, take care.
Take care, Flynn. Thanks for coming.
Bye.
Bye. Sorry, Si, I thought you knew something I didn't for a second there.
No, I didn't want to steal your thunder, but I stole it anyway. So it's okay.
Anyway, it's thunder to be shared.
But yeah, no, that was great. I was so that guy is so interesting, and I'm so glad he came on. And I actually got to ask all the questions, even though I lost my diary. I have no idea where it is.
And you know, I feel bad that people like Flynn don't get the audience they deserve. Sometimes I feel like there's so many great creators that just I'm not sure why is this the case. Maybe they're just being hurt by the YouTube algorithm, which we all can be. But people like him, like creative, you know, individuals like really putting the work, I think they're hurt by not getting the audience they deserve, honestly. Like, so promoting like people like this is amazing.
I think the category they're trying to grow in, like, again, I love Flynn and Richard, they're great people, but you cannot grow a YouTube channel doing live streams. Like, that's just a fact.
I don't think they're like I said, I don't think.
No. I know Mike was saying like, no, I agree they deserve more credit and success, but like the algorithm will never just promote live streams. You cannot grow your channel just on live streams.
No, but
like,
I
know
just
like
think that bothers them.
I know like when Sarah Starbricks was just doing live streams, her channel, again, I love Sarah, her channel, but this is not me shading her. Her channel wasn't growing. All of a sudden she started doing regular videos. Sarah blew up. So like that's always what I tell people. Like if you're trying to grow, do not try to grow just off live streams. You can't do it.
I don't think
on
they
YouTube, I do actually agree. I think posting a video every so and then it just helps. That's the way it is, because live streams are differently. Is the way YouTube distributes live streams. They're different. They're like notifications are different. There's a there's a whole different system how live streams work on YouTube, and it's actually a bit hurtful for creators. And YouTube is still very much focusing on edited content and actually sharing that. So that is actually true, and it's not our fault or anything. It's just the way YouTube works. Whereas like Twitch, for example, Twitch has the tools to promote new streamers.
Twitch is easy to find people. You just got to know like brick building tag and look. And I find so many new people every day on Twitch.
Yeah, so. Like you look at Twitch, and Twitch has categories. You can like categorize by game or by just chatting content. Or Lego builders have their own niche on Twitch. And Twitch is like, it doesn't, for example, have the tools to promote like VODs or clips as much as they have live streams. And YouTube is the other way around. YouTube has the tools to promote videos, whereas live streams are much more easily surpassed by YouTube. Algorithm.
It's unfortunate, but I enjoy, like, I love your live streams. I love Sai's live streams, Greg's live stream, TRICKYBRICKS live stream, Bricknet's live stream. Dang, I like all y'all's live streams, even solos. But like, I love everyone's live streams and stuff, So I wish YouTube promoted it more, but unfortunately they don't. So.
Hopefully it's gonna be changing because they keep adding features to live streaming. I think they're gonna introduce sort of clips. I think they do more. They kind of like the updates to the YouTube Studio for live streaming are one example. I think in the next year or two we may see more tools from YouTube to actually promote live streams. And we need like discovery tools. Like Twitch has like sometimes features streamers on the main page when they're like up and coming streamers, for example. YouTube doesn't have that yet, I believe. You have that like the live category. But there is the creator on the rise category on YouTube, which is like usually a video maker, not a live streamer. But I think they need some sort of that.
YouTube definitely will, because they know that Twitch is taking some of their audience.
Oh yeah. I think it's gonna happen. We're just in the phase when live streaming is not as in good position on YouTube.
It's the same with like with TikTok and then obviously Shorts.
Oh yeah.
They wanted to have a bite of that, so they made Shorts and they promoted Shorts channels a lot more because
we get a lot of TikTok content on YouTube though. Way too.
Yeah, well, that's the question that Brick Show has. And Mike, I don't know if we ever spoke about Shorts. Maybe Greg did before. But did you ever think about doing Shorts, or
I did like one or two, and they did well. But I never thought about it seriously, actually. And I heard people's stories that it's people who jumped onto Shorts early on when they just became available. I think they've seen some success. And a good point here is Shorts were not monetized in the first place when they first came out. But now I think Shorts are actually monetized.
Yeah, but you're not making. I know Jazz did a video with 1 million views and made like $1, I think, off it.
Really?
It was like a laughable amount. Like that's not me shading Jazz.
Shorts still aren't monetized.
But I've also seen, and I've complained about this a lot. Again, when it comes to Shorts, like there's a lot of channels that have done Shorts and they get an inflation of subs, but they're not getting any views per video. And that's kind of the issue that you run into. So
okay. Have you tried them, Sai? More than you
have
tried a few, right? I've seen some of yours, I think.
Yeah, I have. I found them successful. I thought they were pretty good at the time because I mean the first person I ever saw doing a short was Brick's Studio, and his name is Chris. But it was
no, I'm kidding.
No, not me.
I had to.
Not me.
It was no, it's not him. But this was before anybody knew about short. It wasn't a thing, and his video was about. Will you stop with the chips? His video was an accidental success. He got well over 1 million views, loads of subscribers, etc. But then the next person that I saw was really successful was Cafe Con Lego, now CC from I always get mixed up when she changes her name. So foreigner, and she's calling it. But so CC went and she made a really good, well-made Mario video, and it brought her millions of views, and it did really well. So I did one as well, and I went the Mario route as well because everybody else was doing it, and it pumped out 3 million views, and it did really well. The other things I did were like Harry Potter. It's all Lego, obviously, because the channel is Lego. So Harry Potter did well, a few thousand, and Star Wars. But what I did was I took those videos and put them on TikTok, and I put them into Reels as well. And just to promote the channel, not to like try and get millions and millions of views again. But Yeah, I liked making shorts. I'll still make them because I think they're fun to make.
Oh wow! Like Cafe has 5.7 million views on that short.
But let me ask you guys this, and I know,
Holy
like, I
smokes.
know I bring this up a lot, and again, this is not me shading anyone that does shorts. Has your regular video content views really gone up? You know, and that's why, like, I haven't hopped on it, but I've seen what it can do for you, right? Like, I've thought to myself, like, when my views were really low, could I hop on it and get an inflated sub count? The thing is, I've seen people with like CC, again, no shading CC, like Brick Studio. Yeah. Like CC has over like 10,000, 12,000 subscribers, is getting an average of 200 views a video. She was getting that before, you know? So it's it's not really.
So that is the example that we mentioned, that you get elevated subscriber count, but those are not people who will stay and who know you actually.
That is it. The best thing about shorts, right? The exciting thing about shorts is they're like watching stocks and shares. You'll enjoy the fact when it's zooming up. And that's it. That's the hit. That's the hit of them. You get an overinflated subscription count, but that doesn't really.
You know what? Like what I like about my channel, for example, like my numbers don't change a lot when it comes to subscribers, but I know when I get those 10 subscribers, I usually see a very good like subscriber retention. So people who actually subscribe to me through any of types of my content, I see them. I think I'm gonna start making lists of actual like nicknames who I see subscribing, and then they stay for the next 5, 10, 20 streams, and I constantly see people coming back, and they say they'll come back, they come back, and I appreciate that. I think more than having like a successful short, and seeing those subs, but I don't know who these subs are, and I don't know, like for me, I think lower subscriber count, but looking at my retention numbers, I'm pretty satisfied with it, and I would prefer that kind of growth, slow but very effective.
I think it's more loyal audience, right? Because the people who are subbing off shorts, and how do I say this without sounding mean? Because I know all of you guys have done shorts.
No, you're right, because shorts appear on different devices, and shorts can be, there are different points of entry when you see a short.
Shorts are empty subs, and
BFAB, just sorry for 1 second. I think Greg has to go.
I also have to go, so see you guys. My break's over.
Okay, BFAB, thanks for being here, and I appreciate you
always
taking
nice
your time out with us and your
lunch break.
See you later, dude. And Greg, do you want to promote anything on your channel? I forgot to ask Flynn if he wanted to, but do you want to?
No, well, I'm going to be obviously London calling tomorrow, folks, with 7:30 the usual time, with a few odds and bods on there as well as a chirpy, chatty chat as well. Then on Saturday, I'm doing a stream with Tech. That's going to be our next London Tech, and it's going to be quite an interesting one because we're doing techniques. So it's going to be quite an obscure. I'm going to build in a Technics set for the first time ever.
Which one?
I'm actually doing one that you reviewed, and it's going to be. It's one of the. It's only a small one. It's one of the pullback ones. But I thought, I wonder if anyone's reviewed those yet. And funny enough, I watched you do the review on it. You wasn't feeling well. You said your throat sounded really different.
Which one was it?
I think you. It's the pullback, the orange truck.
It's literally called a Lego Technic truck.
Yeah.
Oh, I think I did that one for Beyond the Brick.
Yeah, and you did you did one or two other ones. The dragster looks really good, actually. I wish I bought that one, in all honesty. But as I was watching it, I was thinking, God, I was going to do the truck, and then I'm thinking, actually, I might do the Formula One because the smaller, the alternative, it's one of those ones where it's a 2-in-1, folks. You get the primary build, you get the secondary build. Yet the secondary build actually looks better than the primary one. So I might do that one instead. It's up to you, Tech. I've sent you a message.
Yeah, I did just reply, but the message is not going through. It's typical. You ask him which one he's doing. He says one thing. You change the thumbnail, and then you then put it live.
I just might change that.
Put it live, and now he's want to change it back. So
well, artistic value.
It's fine.
I'll stick to the lorry.
No. I'll change it. All
right. I want to win this one, Tech.
I thought it wasn't a competition.
Exactly. It's the taking part that counts, folks. And if you believe that, you believe anything. So, and after that, where did I get to? So that's Saturday. So then we'll do the review of that afterwards as well, because that's the beauty of doing the London Tech. And then on Sunday, possibly with you now, Si, we're going to be streaming with TRICKYBRICKS. So that's going to be quite
awesome.
Yeah. So that's going to be something quite good. So yeah, that is. And then next week, folks, will be, because it's 2/3 done, my first city update. It's as simple as that, really. Voila.
Nice.
I don't believe it. Not
No,
until
You said that this
Not
week.
until I see it, right?
I said it in January.
Taking way too long, right? But I'm vaccinated now, so folks, it will happen. The
Is
whole
that what you were waiting on?
What's the vaccination got to do with it? You're not going to go outside to do your scene.
don't, it's a mere detail. Don't worry about that. Don't think about
Oh,
it.
okay.
If you don't think about it, it makes sense.
You folks. And again, if you believe that, you believe anything. But yeah, that's that is it, folks. So anyway, look forward to seeing all you lovely lot tomorrow at 7:30 UK time. That is, of course, 2:30 EST USA time. As they are. In New Zealand, I think it's about 6:30 in the morning. If you happen to be out there, because I think Brickstein's going to join us tomorrow. But the clocks have changed a couple of times over the last few weeks. Which means when we start there, it's like 6:30 in the morning, which is impossible time to stream. So I just said, well, if you're around, just pop in at the latter end of it or something like that, you know. Again, another good name for a stream, the latter end. I like that. Anyway, it's been a really cool stream site. It's been quite thought-provoking, actually, this one. I think it's the most thought-provoking stream I've ever been on in all sorts of things. It's very, I don't know, interesting, kind of, because the nice thing about doing my takeaway from this stream tonight, folks, is Lego a passion of mine? Maybe it is. I don't know. I think it maybe is. It depends how we define things. Depends how we're defined by things. I guess you could look at it as. But no, very interesting. Really, and as always, folks, the best place to learn about all these sort of things and about each other is to be on a panel and talk about it. It almost feels like a AA, but for Lego YouTube. It's
like a self-help group, yeah.
It is. We're self-helping. Because that's the thing, folks, until you're in it and until you're in the grind of doing it, you don't know what it's kind of like. And
it's I think those panels are nice to show that there is a lot behind the scenes for all of us.
Yeah.
It's like what you see as a chat, as a viewer, you see the ice of the top of the iceberg. There's a lot behind the scenes. Like a lot of you probably can relate, but juggling our lives, our families, our work time, even having the energy to like sit in the evening and actually edit those videos for you. There is
or
a
even
lot
coming
to
up
it.
with a video.
Not only about I'm not even talking about recording and figuring out what you want to actually post.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Coming up with a video is the worst.
Yeah, coming up with like the stuff and actually writing the script or like any bullet points, you even have to like figure out what you want to talk to the camera about. So I think it's a good way to tell people like, hey, we're doing the best we can, and I hope you guys enjoy it. But remember, there's a lot behind it.
There is, honestly, folks. Right, on the other side of the camera, to Sai, down those stairs where Chris lives, behind that door there, outside of the office where Mike resides. When Sai, or Solo turns that camera around,
there's a whole life out there. There's a whole life that you gotta manage. Exactly.
And out of lockdown, there's going to be a lot more of it around, folks. So on that note, I wish everybody well. Be safe, be happy, and Sai, I look forward to spending the next couple of days with you. It's literally going to be my weekends. My whole week from Wednesday is Wednesday, Sai, Thursday, Sai, Friday, Sai, Saturday, Sai.
You might have a Sai addiction at this point. Sounds like it.
You've realised that Sai is your passion, not Lego.
I was just about to say that, Chris.
I would see a doctor about that.
The passion of Sai. The last temptation of Sai. All right. Anyway, on that bombshell, I will bid you all farewell. And as they say in old Victorian times, good day to you, sir.
Good day.
That was
Wow.
You got some bromance going on in their side. Like, I mean,
hell yeah.
It's like a Lego bromance.
Exactly, big time.
You guys are the best couple on YouTube.
Yeah, maybe. We're similar age as well. I think all of us are a similar age.
Yeah, I guess.
Speak to yourself.
Okay, well, you're
feeling young up there, Chris? You feeling young up there?
I'm beautiful.
We're all boomers. Let's just accept that fact.
Tech has barely turned 17.
Whoa,
Yeah,
whoa.
me and Tech are 8. Like,
Tech can't even buy alcohol yet.
Yes, to get people to go into the all places for them. Darren, do you have to go as well? Did I see in the chat?
Yeah. Yeah, no, I got to head off. Well, nice early get up tomorrow. So
a little nickname that I came up with for Solo Brick Builder for Darren, Mike, is he is now a what did I call it? A fucker. But it's a fan of I can't remember what it was. It's a fan of Kobe. That's what it was. Yeah. So, Darren, do you want to tell everybody what you're going to be building over the next? Because you've become a bit of a Kobe builder, basically.
Well, yeah. I mean, I've got the Sherman tank, the Kobe Sherman tank. That's coming up at some point. Believe me, it will come out a lot quicker than Greg's City update. Hopefully, fingers crossed. I don't know. I might try and get back into the live stream game tomorrow, maybe in the evening. I might actually try and build that one live on stream. What is that one? The B25. Yeah, I might actually build that one. But
do you have that new? Do you have that new F18?
F18. Yeah, I've got that one. Yeah.
Oh, you got it. Oh, I kind of want to see that one. Yeah.
Yeah. I might build the F18.
Airplane.
Seems like
I mean, I've even got the USS Enterprise sitting right here next to me. I've got Kobe sets like coming out of my ears at the moment.
Can you show us the Enterprise, or is it out of reach?
No, the Enterprise is right here because it doesn't fit on my shelves of my storage room is actually all full up. But yeah,
I think your connection is a bit blurry right now, but
it is. It's gone a bit bonkers again, Darren. Your connection. That's so
What's
cool.
that?
Yeah, you're very pixelated. Your connection, I think, is a bit off.
Oh, is it? Oh, for God's sake! I just sorted that out. But yeah, well, there you go. If you can see it, there you go.
It's like one of those YouTube thumbnails where it's like, check out this awesome set.
Yeah.
Pixelated on purpose. Like.
It's like you've you're clickbaiting people, making you think you bought the Maersk boat or something.
Yeah, I really
that's
want
what it was. Yeah, it was a FOC fan of Kobe. Yeah, thanks, Knights of Glen. I
do like it, and it's I think it's on par with the quality of Lego.
It's funny, like Kobe is a Polish company, and I remember them since I was a kid. I never got any sets from them, but I'm flabbergasted how far they've come. With what they do.
I just worked out
pretty
that
cool because they come from like a small Polish town, like it's almost like a village. The factory is, and it's really amazing.
I've got one of an older Kobe set, and I opened it up, and you can see the quality difference between that one, which was about 3 years.
Is the quality good right now? Is it like
the quality is outstanding?
Really?
It's like you put a Lego brick on there and a Kobe brick on there, you wouldn't tell the difference.
Oh, really? Wow.
Yeah, you couldn't tell. Even just like clutch power, put them together. In some cases, actually, Kobe's a bit too bloody strong. You bend your nails and all sorts, but. Which I've got a funny feeling that could add a little bit of stress for longevity, but like in regards to like the newer stuff, it's like on par. You couldn't tell the difference.
Wow.
And I'm dead impressed with them. That's why I'm like going head on in collecting them because I'm not stopping Lego, not stopping, but
they are nice sets. I've seen on the live stream a few weeks ago with you, Sai. This was the first time you guys brought my attention to Kobe, what they're doing right now. I went to the website, like, oh my god, they're actually nice looking sets, especially the aircraft.
I didn't know they were that old until just now, Mike. I thought they were like.
I know, like when I was really into Lego as like 8-year-old kid, I remember Kobe was a thing in Polish like mom and pop toy stores, because back in the day, like past communism, it was like early 90s. We never like Lego was a exquisite commodity, and Kobe was like just like cheap alternative, which was like bad quality back then, but it was like Polish made interlocking brick system, and I think that was just shortly after Lego stopped having exclusivity to their patent of interlocking bricks, so Kobe came up.
Yeah.
But I remember they were just like kind of like knockoff toys in the stores, and the logo was the same. I remember those. Like my mom was like, "Would you like?" She was like, "Maybe I buy you Kobe." I was like, "I want Lego, not Kobe." And I was like, "Yeah, that was like."
I think the thing is, like Kobe and blocks, they are actually pretty decent quality wise now, like compared to what they were. But
yeah,
for me, it's all about the minifigure, which is why.
Oh yeah,
I'm like a stamp
nothing
collector.
close to the minifigure.
Yeah, I'm just like a stamp collector. Like, that's why I collect Star Wars. It's like I love minifigures, so it's why I don't like the Lego Friends sets. Because
I really love that stand behind you, Chris. That clear stand you have. What is it?
Yeah, that's literally what I've just been making during the.
Yeah, is that like some particular company or what is it?
No, it's all it is that I've just used acrylic. So these are actually nail polish stands. So you have them that way, and you would slot in nail polish.
Oh, okay.
And I just flipped them upside down and glued 2 by.
Oh, okay.
That's it. It's about £18 to do. Yeah,
I love them. I love the. Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's just a cheaper solution to. And also, they kind of fitted perfectly in my display.
I see that. Yeah.
So yeah, it was more that they fitted well. Because I've got the Wicked Brick one, which is really nice, but it doesn't fit in my cupboards, so I had to try and like come up with.
Yeah, Wicked Brick has those nice like particular sets.
100 ones. Yeah, I've got one downstairs.
For Star Wars and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, but it comes up to about here on the stand, so it doesn't fit in, which is really annoying. So.
I might get a few of these. Like I think they do ship to the US. I really like them for the like some of the UCS sets for sure.
Oh, they look really. I use them for all my like displaying ship stands and stuff. They look really. I mean, the Millennium Falcon's on one.
Yeah.
On the side, I really like them.
Nice.
Cool. But yeah.
I think you're doing really well. I mean, Mike, he got himself how many Star Wars minifigures? 200 or was it more?
So, well, there was 200. I've now got 2 boxes of 200. So I've got 400 in random blind bags.
So tell Mike what your plan is.
Well,
I think I've seen your video. The entire collection, right? You're going for it?
Yeah, I'm going to try and complete the entire Star Wars collection. But what's happened is that I've made Steph a Bricklink account. So she's bought them for me from a certain price point. And then she's been packaging them up and then putting them in different colors. So then each week I get to open like 10 to add to the collection. So it just allows me, because obviously buying minifigures, special Star Wars ones, costs a lot of money.
Oh,
so a way of like curbing me a little bit of like, I get 10 new minifigures a week, and then I'll slowly be able to do the
At one point in time, I spent, I think, 2 weeks on BrickVault just sorting through all the Star Wars collection.
That
was like, I can say like at some point in time, I had every single minifigure ever made through my hands in array. And I organized them not only by year, but the order they came out. So we had stands designed in-house by BrickVault, and I was putting from the very first minifigure, each year was like how they came out in sets, and I was just sorting them, and it took me like freaking 2 weeks to go through it. In the end, I think it took 2 giant display cases, 2 or 3 shelves each case to display all of them. I think when I ended, it was like right after the Force Awakens line, I think. That was the newest one. And then The Last Jedi came out. I think we added that since I still work with them. And yeah, that was like an ongoing project. But man, I think we were like 1,090 minifigures at some point or something.
Yeah, I think it's 1,134 or something at the moment. But they're not, because I know BrickVault does the AB variants as well. So like they do like.
Oh yeah, like I was like. Yeah. The task was like,
sorry, guys, I'm gonna head off. I'm gonna.
Sorry, I didn't
Bye,
see the private chat.
Bye,
see you later. Thank you.
But yeah,
he forgot to go. I let him plug.
I forget to look at the private chat. I'm so sorry.
No, you're fine. He forgot to go.
Yeah.
But yeah, I saw like BrickVault. They had like, oh, and here's Palpatine, and he's got black hands now. Whereas in the next one, he's got.
Do you know that website? There's like I think a guy from the Netherlands that has like a website just for the Star Wars minifig collection, and he. Wow. I'm gonna send you a link if I find it. But he basically the whole website is built around just complete like cheat sheet of what you need with all the variants, variations, misprints, everything. So at BrickVault, everyone like we gotta get this one and we gotta get the misprint, and we like I think we had all the Leia versions.
Yeah, because it's the one that you had
the black cannon.
Black Kanan's the one I'm hunting for at the moment.
The black hair cannon. So a lot of these things, and we handed all those variations, and I had to go through this website and just basically. Day by day, like sort them meticulously to make sure we got everything. Oh my god!
I watched
that was freaking.
Yeah, I watched the BrickVault one earlier actually, which was the Yoda I Heart New York one.
We had one, and we couldn't for the longest time we couldn't tell if that was a fake or a real. And I think we concluded it was a real one because of like we were like scouring websites like how to tell the fake one, and this one had all the this one had all the traits of a real one.
Yeah.
Up to like mini like mold and Lego logos and all this stuff.
It's crazy.
But yeah, we had a fake one at once. Like a Bricklink guy sent us a fake one at one point, so we could compare. Yeah.
Yeah, they're like £1,000. They should. Like, and then you don't know if that's a fake either if you get it.
Yeah, and we were lucky to get. We purchased some of the Comic-Con ones, but we were lucky to get Comic-Con ones because we're in San Diego. So a lot of the times we're just able to snag them from Comic-Con.
Mike, did you ever find yourself kind of when you're supposed to be working in Brickfall? Do you ever find yourself just going off and playing with Lego?
Oh yes, actually yes. Like, you know what? Like, one of my relaxation techniques is actually doing something Lego without any cameras on me. Actually, yeah. Like I do have some sets set aside that I just don't stream or don't review or anything about that. Mostly with my kids, like when I buy them like friend sets, for example, they never go on the channel.
Yeah.
Or anything. It's just like sitting and building stuff together.
Friend sets is one of those things I was on about. I love some of the friend sets. I think they're great buildings, but especially because I've got a sitting stuff. But the Friends mini dolls, there's not minifigures. So to me, it feels like Kobe or something, and I just don't get it.
Yeah. My kids love them, so yeah. They do play with that.
Yeah, there you go.
There you go.
Really cool.
Yes.
That's really cool.
good.
Yeah.
That is a nice one.
I
great sets, actually fun.
I bought this specifically because it reminded me of the style of the modulars, the older modulars, and it actually does. The top does come off.
Yeah. Oh.
So
it's funny how you ask, like, do you ever like just play with Lego? It's kind of weird. Like, it's having a YouTube channel doesn't automatically mean like you're like fully engulfed in this as like as an obligation to yourself. I think like the best part about Lego is you can do it in your own time. You can do it for people. You can share it. You don't have to share it. I actually do enjoy just relaxing with a Lego set without any obligations about it.
I do that with a lot of my brick heads now, because I used to build brick heads on the channel. I was like, actually, I don't. And actually, I've got a load of backlog of brick heads. And what I'll do is on a Saturday morning or something, when I start the weekend, I have a coffee in the morning. We're watching something, and I'm building a brick head with a coffee.
Yeah. You guys have this feeling when you sometimes stream a set, and you just feel like some of the like fun things about this just miss you by.
Oh yeah.
Because sometimes you just like build on a standby. You like look at the chat and read the chat with one eye and just like build. Yeah. And sometimes you end up like, oh, I built this section and this has so many cool functions, and I never really spend a moment to like appreciate them and to look at them closer.
Yeah, I took a break from live streaming this week because I just been getting a bit overwhelmed with it because sometimes
I just feel bad. Like I know the audience enjoyed the stream and the set was fun, but I feel like, you know what, I would love to build the set again by myself, like just me.
I'm finding the older modular buildings really stressful on a stream, and people don't quite understand because you have a very small area and they're massive bags, and then you get a bit like you're trying to answer the comments. You got Steph here as well trying to help, because I got her, luckily she helps me, and I'm still like, where is that bloody piece? And like, obviously to that point then you're not enjoying it, so then your audience isn't enjoying it.
Because you have this pressure, like, okay, somebody they're waiting for you to move on, and when you're doing this by yourself, you're just like, okay, I'm gonna take a break, go make myself some tea and come back and build it later.
I've actually still got half of this bit like ready to build under my desk, and we built it 2 weeks ago, the one part of it, and I just haven't had I haven't wanted to build it.
But I know the feeling. Like sometimes it's good to have your own time for yourself.
Oh, yeah.
I was the same as Chris. I started to build the Palace Cinema on a live stream, and I got so overwhelmed, and then I stupidly tried to build a Death Star as well on a live stream, and so now what myself and Greg do, so we actually get to build some. I built this yesterday on the backlog with Greg, and I completed it.
Yay!
I finished it. Can you believe that? Well, no, it's handy to do sets like that because you're able to do something and talk to the chat and everything.
This one next.
I would say it takes practice. Guys, I think like I can tell after all these years, it takes practice to enjoy a stream, a set on a stream. It takes practice to enjoy it. My first dozens of sets when I was building, I didn't even remember what I was building. It was like I felt like the set teleported itself on my desk after the stream. I didn't remember anything just because of the stress of keeping up with the chat and making sure I don't make mistakes. And if I make mistakes, it becomes double stress because people watch you live and they oh, this guy sucks at building. And like you had those feelings of like, what will people think? I'm more like those feelings are gone at this point after all that practice. But still, like, I feel like actually building a set offline is still more enjoyable than building it on a live stream. Even though I like it at this point, but I like it sometimes more just by myself, honestly.
The only set that I've completely engulfed in on a live stream was my Moss Eisley Cantina, because it was a set I've always wanted, and I had the day off just to go get that set. And I was only going to stream it for an hour because I didn't want to, like, say, I wanted to enjoy the build. And I streamed it for 7 hours. And I was so engulfed. I remember everything about the build. I didn't go to the toilet. I didn't do anything. I literally just
and now people were like this as, oh, like, you're so, like, selfish. You don't want to share that with us.
Steph actually went down because she started a little bit at the beginning and then she left. She went downstairs. She ate, and I was just like, nah, I'm all right. I'm just.
It's like, it's not about, like, the audience being bad for you. It's just like, there are just certain activities that it's like, if you go for a coffee, you would rather have that coffee in a coffee shop, just enjoy. Maybe there's like a coastline coffee shop, you want to enjoy it. Sometimes you feel like, okay, I can go with friends and have a loud coffee shop and like enjoy this coffee in a more like a social environment. But sometimes you just want to take this coffee and sip it for an hour while watching through the window. And same goes with Lego sets. Sometimes you want to share it more and it's more enjoyable. Sometimes you just want to close yourself down and really build it for yourself and just don't care about anything else about it.
It's like a lot of people always say, like, because again, a lot of my audience like the city stuff, and a lot of people like, just do live stream city builds. And I'm like, have you seen me try and build a mock? They're not, I need complete silence.
True that.
And I just stress out because I wouldn't know what to do on it.
It's true. It is true. Yeah. I'm glad you guys have the same feelings, because I feel like, am I a bad person sometimes, but just not wanting to stream this set? Is that like, am I bad?
I gave up. I don't stream and build at all, only on the backlog. And as I said, we only do the small sets because, I agree, and I ask everyone that comes on, like I asked Jang and I asked Ryan, do they not miss out on enjoyment when they build something? And they're used to doing it, so they don't. But I prefer to build. I started building the Death Star, I think it was December, and I finished it about 3 weeks ago. So like that thing sat with us at Christmas dinner and over my birthday, and it was at the birthday party and everything.
I think the thing is, though, with those older sets, they are harder. There's more in a bag as well.
True.
Like
just the way the sword breaks inside.
The Winnie the Pooh one was 7 bags, but it was really nicely set. I mean, when we did that one, I built bag number 1, then Steph did bag number 2, and it was quite nice. Because
you guys remember creator sets when they were like not numbered? At all. You just pour everything on the table.
I built it wasn't on a live stream because I just wouldn't have had the patience for it, but I did time lapse build doing the Darth Maul bust. And so I was
oh my god.
Although I wasn't worried about being like really, really quick, there is that thing of like, I've got to be doing this at some consistent speed, otherwise it will look weird on a time lapse.
Yeah.
But it was horrible build. The end product, amazing. The actual build process.
So me and Steph were in our dark age during that period of like non-numbered bags. We never realized this thing until we got the Vestas wind turbine. Yeah. And it was a set that we thought doesn't have many pieces. It's a couple of tubes, isn't it? And that was the most confused live stream ever, where it was just everything was everywhere. We're like, where do we even start? Like, and I never realized that they did that with those creator sets.
Yeah.
But it's an awesome build, though. But I didn't enjoy that stream because we were like panicking, like, where does everything go? Like,
I think as long as you realize that, like, you are in control of your own pace on the stream, and most people don't care if you build slower quickly. I do get some messages like, oh, you should be faster, like, but I either learned to ignore them or these people just went away and never came back, which is fine because I want to be myself on the streams, and many of you probably, a lot of you are the same, and you gotta learn that skill to like be yourself, and like it's you, and people who want to watch you will watch you anyway, no matter if you stay on a stream for 5 hours or 3 hours. When I shared, like, I think with Jang, when my NINJAGO City Gardens build took me like freaking 20 hours or something to build on a stream because I was like so slow, and I was like I was cooking I was hitting 2 birds with 1 stone on that one because I was enjoying the build. I remembered every single bit of it, and I was streaming at the same time, so I really, really, really took my time.
Yeah.
Whereas Jang like built it in like 8 hours or something. But that's an example, like, and people didn't really care. People know, I never had a message saying like, oh, you suck at building, like you were so slow on this one. Nobody, like, they were like, thanks for like hours of entertainment, you know, of chatting and hanging out. So that reassured me. I think that live stream was like a really reassurance that like, okay, so it's possible to enjoy the set on a stream, be on your own pace, don't stress about it, make mistakes. If you need, take an extra stream after that one, whatever it takes. But as long as you're having fun, everybody's good, and your audience will be fine with that. And that like reassured me that it's cool. There's no stress. And since then, I think I feel more confident and relaxed on the stream, so that I choose more sets to build on the streams than I would rather build myself. But still, that feeling of building on your own is still like a little bit more, you know, a little bit more, I guess, comfortable. You know, yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Brick Buzzier hit 1,000 subscribers, he said. Well done. Congratulations.
Nice.
Hey, that's dope.
That's a good feeling.
Oh, it's the same with YouTube though, isn't it? You're always chasing for the next thing. I always remember when I was like, when I get 1,000, that's it. I won't do as many videos now. I can ease through it. And I just, yeah. And then you're like, what about 5,000? Then 10,000.
I like this quote I've seen today on Twitter. Somebody said how it went. Remind yourself today how you felt when you wanted to be who you are today.
Yeah.
Like you are, like, you look at yourself, whatever you do in your life. Like you look at yourself today, like your channel, whatever, like your career, anything, your fam, anything in your life. And imagine, probably there was a moment in your life when you like, I wish I was where I am right now, you know, and you are. And, you know, for me, it was like, I don't know, having 100 people live stream like yesterday with Jang, or getting my first super chat was like, you know, oh, somebody actually sent me money, you know, and then I had a stream with like, you know, 20 people sending super chats, and I was like, wow, like I have to appreciate it, because I in the past I was like, how it would feel when I was at this moment that people actually support me and enjoy my stuff. And here I am, you know, so I gotta like take a step back and look at it and really appreciate it. And, you know, every single one of us, probably 3 years from now, will be looking at, you know, much further point in your careers of creating stuff on YouTube, and you're gonna have some numbers to be proud of, and we're gonna just step here and like look back. Oh, I was thinking about this moment like, you know, 2 years ago, and here I am, you know. So you gotta appreciate, you know, every single step of the way, and any like small milestone, anything you feel like you achieved. I think it's always a good point of appreciation that you can't forget that you always dreamt of it in some way.
That's true. I mean,
right?
I today, well, I don't touch wood. I hit 9,000 subscribers today.
Dude,
it's
that's
floating
a win in my book.
I didn't
That's
expect
nice.
that to happen this week. I thought that would happen like way in the future.
I think, Sai, I kind of remain, because I think we know each other like virtually for a while now, and I think you were watching Brickvolt back in the day, right?
Yeah,
you were coming.
To you and
I think like you did say something like I wish I had a YouTube channel or something.
Do you remember that?
I do. Yeah. Your name is pretty recognizable, and I remember like that you were just like a viewer, like a chatter, and you were like, man, I wish I made videos like you guys, or something along those lines. You were saying something that you want to start a YouTube channel, and now you have like, you know, JangBricks or Lego Masters people on your live stream. So you know, look back and appreciate it, I would say.
I do feel blessed that all of that has happened. I mean, like, it's incredible. This time last year, I wouldn't have even thought that I would have had, like, you know,
I remember your first live stream because I was on it before.
I know.
You were so nervous, and it's like, you know,
I was literally bricking it.
that's the name of my channel for a reason, because that's what I was when I turned the camera on. I was bricking it. So
I mean,
so everybody started somewhere, guys. Like, you know, I started my job at the Lego store. I never knew I would get picked up by a large YouTube channel. And, you know, when I started the Cool Factor, I never knew, like, I don't know where it's gonna go. Maybe people will just forget me and nobody will ever watch. And, you know, I have live streams now and you know, over 7,000 subs, and it's all by my work and things are going, things are happening. There is like every live stream brings something new. So it's like when you see progress, it's really easy to forget that you were once without anything.
Oh yeah.
And you were once starting, and you picked up that camera at some point and you learned how to turn it on, and you did all those little things that led you to this point in your life. And it's like, it's a good thing to remind myself whenever I feel like, oh, I quit, like this is too much, I don't care anymore, I quit. I have those feelings sometimes, and thankfully they are like much more rare right now, because I see where this is going. And if I ever have a moment like this, I was like, okay, so I'm at this point, and I wanted to be at this point, 3 years ago, and I'm now. So where I'm gonna be 3 years from now if I don't stop right now? So you can stop today and you can quit, but at the same time, like, what if the next milestone is just a week ahead of you, like away from now?
That's exactly what I was thinking with the guitar, right? So throughout my life, I've always picked up a guitar, and I picked it up when I was like 11, and I was all right. I picked it up again when I was 13, and I picked it up when I was at uni. And then again, looking back at it the other week, and I'm like, if I hadn't actually stuck at this thing, how good would I have been now? And I've been like,
right? Yes.
But I never did. I never stuck at it. I've got one. I've got a blooming Gibson downstairs because I got it for my first birthday. Like a $5,000 guitar. And
well, that's a good perk to start today, Chris. I mean,
exactly.
Just start today and like look at yourself 5 years from now, just playing that freaking guitar.
I think if you don't if you just keep at it for a little bit a day, you'll get better and better and better. 1%. You'll get
progress
better.
doesn't have to come in large chunks. Yeah. It's something that a lot of people don't remember or don't recognize, especially people who quit. Like I'm relating to YouTube right now because we're all in this genre, but people who quit after like 5 months, a year, they just quit because I can take it. It's too hard. It's too, but I've been there so many times, and at this point, it's like every time I would have quit after all those like low moments in my career. If I would have quit back then, where would I be now? And like I'm like there's the outcome is always you're progressing. Like no matter if you progress by one video a week or one live stream a month, whatever it takes. Doing things, being a doer always brings progress. There's a very small chance, a tiny chance that you will fail in progress. Because like even if you fail in views, if you fail in growing your channel, you succeed in gaining experience, gaining knowledge, finding out mistakes, fixing them. Everything is a learning experience in my case. So before you say no to anything, before you say no to yourself to quit, like a TED talk or something. But but what I learned through, and probably you guys as well, from many like difficult moments, is like if you don't quit, usually the outcome is always positive. So it's a good reminder that like we're here, we've been there with nothing, now we're here with something. We're gonna be with something more a year from now. So that's what really drives me pretty much.
Yeah. I just want to ask Matt from Family Bricks, is Cranky Bricks in your lug? Because you seem to know each other. I think they know each other. I think Cranky Bricks is in the London A-Falls. I think Greg told me that, but I could be wrong. Cranky Bricks is pretty cool. She's a mod on Jang's channel, and
oh right, yes, that's what I know the name. I was like,
they're such a good chat because they don't have much to do. Those guys. I mean, he has like very well-behaved people in the chat.
Right. Yeah, you got a lot of congrats, Sai, by the way, for.
I know. Thank you very much
for being here with a channel from not having a channel a few years back.
Hey, if you haven't subscribed and you're in the chat, add to that next 1,000 because then you might be getting that guy on a t-shirt. 10K. That guy on a t-shirt.
And don't forget, it's not just about me. It's about Chris. It's about Mike. It's about Tech. It's about all the guys who were on earlier on. Subscribe to those guys too because I mean, they're all doing brilliant videos and they have brilliant channels too. And they rock.
You want to watch a psychopath try and collect every single Lego Star Wars video minifig? Then come on over.
No, that's an undertaking. That is. I'm gonna follow you along to see how that goes.
Definitely. They were my favorite videos that Brickvault did. The every minifigure videos.
That's the one Yeah, that's the whole. I mean, it's really funny because that was the one channel that I used to love because I love all those.
That was the core of our content, you guys. Like we were really pushing. I mean, they started this before I joined, but when I joined, I was briefed like, okay, core content is those minifig collections because they were really into this collecting part of minifigures. It grew into more things over time, but when I joined, that was like they were getting, you know, more views than anything we did over 2 weeks each period combined, and they were like bread and butter for BrickVault for a long time. Then became difficult because we were going through a lot of collections, and only some of the more bizarre ones were left off. But through 2 or 3 years, when I was there, like we were pushing out some crazy Star Wars collections and stuff like that, and they were really. A lot of people were saying, like what you said, Chris, they were the most watched videos. They were the core of the channel. I think BrickVault was kind of built around it. Yeah. The reviews were secondary, and then the news were like kind of like along the reviews.
I think it was because for me, like I got into Lego due to Star Wars, like the UCS. I bought a couple of the big ones, like the X-Wing and the Slave One and stuff. But then I soon realized, because we were just in a small flat at the time, that I wasn't going to be able to have this massive Lego room. And so the minifigures to me, it's like pop figures. I know you love pop figures, don't you, Si? But they're massive. So I never collected them. Whereas like I can have 100 minifigures and they're on that tiny shelf there. So 1,200 minifigures can fit here. That's the whole point. And that's what I love about them. Yeah, 1,200 can fit there. 1,200. Yeah, that's literally the whole collection at the moment that can technically fit there. So that's what I love about them. They're easy. They're little collectibles. They're like mini stamps, and that's why I'm obsessed with them. But yeah, BrickVault. I've always watched the minifig ones and gone.
I rewatch them every week. I might take Robin and watch Robin 1 week, and then the next week I might go. I'll look at every Sith minifigure, and you know, I'll rewatch them.
They did the Anakin one recently.
They were a real pain to edit, by the way.
Well, the reward.
I've done some of the bigger ones. Oh my god! Yeah. You would spend all those rotations we were doing. Like I had in my calendar was like minifigure filming day, and you spend like 5 hours by that freaking tripod doing exactly one rotation, and all those like little spins you have seen, that was all editing. So that video, oh my god, like I have nightmares.
I've got a mini one I built out of Lego for when I do it, and if I have like Sesame Street and there's like got 10 minifigures, that takes forever. So
I still have nightmares how long it took to edit them, but they were still fun. Like the outcome was like we've seen those views, and I was like, okay, it was worth it, I guess. Hello.
Yeah.
Mike, that's the plastic architect is Claire, and she's got a really good channel as well. If you haven't,
I'm subscribed to her. Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, she's doing really.
I found her for you, I think. Yeah,
loving her new shelving unit.
I think I'm subscribed to everyone that ever appeared on this panel. So yeah, you guys are rocking it. Everybody that ever was here, like a lot of channels I discovered thanks to you. So
that's awesome.
Yeah, it's good for the little community, really, like to get people. It's like it's interesting to see the same people in the chats as well, like that come into all of them. Like
yeah, exactly. That's what I love the most about my live streams, because no matter like what time I stream, whatever the content is, if it's like the most over-reviewed set at some point, most boring set, there is always the same people usually coming over for the first few minutes, and they stay. And it's like I can have 5 viewers, 10 viewers, but these are the people I can actually chat with, and it's really cool.
Those Vitso shells are insane, Claire, because they were actually something I was looking at getting before all of Lego. They're so cool. Because I love Dieter Rams, which is a really weird thing. I don't know if anyone knows who Dieter Rams is, but he's this really cool German designer. He used to design for Braun.
So you said those were a nail polished display, right?
No. Claire's got these really nice metal modular shells. They're actually the kind of stuff that IKEA.
No, the ones behind you, right? I like the nail polishing.
Oh, yeah, none of mine are Vitso. I can't. Oh. Yeah, they are nail polished, but yeah.
Okay.
The Vitso stuff is like a really expensive designer. It's coming from Dieter Rams, but yeah, if you're into Apple, Steve Jobs literally copied Dieter Rams. Like he actually, in the Apple coffee table book, the forward at the beginning is to Dieter Rams. Absolutely obsessed with him. He's a fantastic designer. But in the design museum, you know the one in that Lego Masters do their final in the UK? There they have a little thing, and they have a Dieter Rams' stuff from Braun and Steve Jobs' stuff from Apple, and they're literally the same. But one of them's like a thermostat, and one of them's an iPod, and they look the same. Like it's incredible where he got the design things from. But he's a very, very cool guy.
I just want to say hi to Brick Adjuster as well, because Brick Adjuster, I didn't hear about Brick Adjuster before, but when Just Too Good was on the show one week, he was talking about him, so check him out as well. He earlier on he said that he had a 4-year break, and so go and check him out as well.
I don't think I've actually gone to Brick Adjuster's channel.
Yeah, I subscribed to him as well. Who else did I see there? Oh yeah,
I find a lot of the people, it's the same ones that get recommended in my streams and not the other ones. It's weird. I think there's like another one called Mono Productions or something that BFAB was on the other day, and he's never come up in any of my recommendeds. I can't remember which one it was though. It's annoying. It's annoying. But
I'm still kicking
Claire
that.
Lego get the shouts. Hey, Tech is alive. Hi, Tech.
I am alive.
he's alive.
Okay, guys, it's 11:30. I think we'll wind it down here because I've been dying to go to the toilet for ages, and no one needed to know that. No problem.
Just drill a hole in your chair, in a bucket.
Yeah.
Well, I'm trying to empty this rapidly to fill it up again. I'm not really. Oh God, where are we going? Good thing we're going.
This is the time to end.
Yes, I think so. Before it goes down so rapidly. I got a new light. I think it'll look a bit better today. So let's see, Chris. What have you got coming up on your channel? Do you want to give a little shout out to yourself?
What day is it?
Thursday.
Tomorrow I have my week 2 of the minifigure thing that we're on about with 10 bags. So I have to see how that goes. I was having an idea of maybe, I don't know whether every week might be too much, so I might just try and do one a month where it's open 50 of them. But I don't know. It'd be a very long video though. So
that's a good idea you have because you can space out content that way, right?
Yeah, well, that's what I was trying to do because obviously we've got the wedding coming up. That's why I'm saying what day is it, because I've got ideas of videos that I'm trying to do and keep. But yeah, so that's next week. That's tomorrow, sorry. And then other than that, I think that's it. I'm not on Greg's tomorrow. But yeah, I know a lot of you guys are. So like, LBB's on tomorrow, and I don't think I'm not doing any streaming this weekend. I think I've got to do wedding plans.
Yeah.
So when are you getting married?
We are getting married the 24th. So yeah, like
live stream perhaps.
I don't know. But there's no one going to be there anyway because it's all in COVID anyway. So there's only 13 guests. But
yeah,
it'll be good. It'll be good. We've been waiting a long time, so it's just good to
tie the knot.
Yeah, good. Another stress thing over as well.
Don't say tie the knot, and don't listen to Family Bricks.
Yeah, so when I'm on future live streams after that, my hand might be a bit like weighted from the wedding ring and the ball and chain. Have to drag it around. And
be careful, like the ring can scratch the bricks,
Yeah, exactly.
Be careful.
But yeah, that's it for me. That's it for my channel at the moment.
That's awesome. Tech, do you want to? Have you got anything coming up? Because you are streaming. I think you stream on Mondays now. Do you?
Yeah, so I'll be on London Calling tomorrow. I'll also be streaming with Greg at 3 o'clock on my channel. We'll be doing that Technic build as part of London Tech. And then on Mondays, it's on Kevin's channel, on I'm Bored Toys' channel this week. 8 p.m. UK time, I will be continuing mockumentary. I'm personally turning the Lego Heart Lake City cinema into a modular. So that's what I'm doing. I'm still in studio at the moment. I'm waiting on a couple of orders. Maybe I'll get the bricks here in time. Maybe not. So it might be another week in studio. But no, it's really good fun. I'm really enjoying the process.
I'm liking that mockumentary thing. I think it's a really good idea. I was actually tempted. I know Claire I saw her haul the other day, and she had the one that that Sai just had.
Emma's fashion show. Yeah,
and I was like, they're on 20 quid on Amazon today. I was like, oh, shall I get 2? Doing it now.
That was so Claire got that one. That was the other one that I was going to buy as well because it was £20 at Sainsbury's not that long ago. So I was tempted to get that, but cool. Yeah, I think that would look pretty cool.
Yeah, I like that.
That's what the guys are talking about. It's a really nice set. Like,
such
a nice
set.
It's
pretty. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, and the stickers aren't too bad either.
I like the mannequin torsos in the front.
Yeah, aren't they cool?
Like kind of a extra minifigure in there.
Yeah, I like it. I like the angled door as well.
I like the body as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, the angled door is pretty cool.
Nice. Don't show it to my girls; they will want it.
The only problem is that it's the same yellow as the pasta store, the spaghetti one. You know, the
Oh, the Heart Lake City.
Yeah, it's the same yellow.
Isn't that the same yellow that's on the Fiat 500 from Creator?
Oh, it might.
The cool yellow?
Yeah.
I don't have that set. I
Is
don't
it
know.
like bright yellow or something?
I think it's called the cool yellow.
Oh, is it cool? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Yellow.
Yep.
Oh my God! Someone stop Matt.
Family Bricks is.
Jesus Christ.
Calm blue ocean, water lapping.
Okay, yeah, I'm just going to turn the camera off for a minute. Mike, do you want to tell everybody out there in Chatland what's going on the Cool Factor?
Well,
quick
what is
before
it?
we let
It's
them go.
Thursday, so I wanted to stream today, but we'll see how the day goes. I have the Mustang to build, Creator Mustang. This thing is still not reviewed for some reason because I'm taking my time. I have the review written out, bullet points, everything. I just have to sit down and actually record it. So there's gonna be a review coming out. I'm late to the party. Like I'm supposed to publish this review like Monday or something because I had it ready. I had no time to record, so that's happening.
Your new stream setup, mate, is absolutely awesome, by the way. I was watching you building that NASA, the rocket.
It's funny. So the first stream, because I have the overhead camera right now, I had a third camera to my setup, so I was testing this out and it worked beautifully.
Yeah, the little
so I'm happy
the
with
slides as well. The swishes for your cool factor. Like
oh, thanks. That's within the 8M Mini, like because 8M Mini is a great device. You can customize it and you can put like special like chroma keys inside. So
yeah, I was looking at that 8M Mini. Because with the
get it, like it's better like if you're streaming multiple cameras. Because the Camlink, by the way, technical talk chat.
Yeah.
I'm gonna let you know, Chris. Camlink launched the Camlink Pro today, which is a capture card with 4 HDMI ports.
Right.
But that's a capture card. The 8M is still like a standalone USB device. So I think it's better in my opinion. Anyway, I'm using that one. Anyway, it was fun stream. I do Bricks and Coffee as always. So it's Sunday, 9 a.m. Pacific. It's a Lego news chat with coffee. So bring your own coffee. I don't provide coffee. But actually I have people, it's funny because some people watch my same time zone or similar time zone and people actually like brew coffee with me and they like, hey, I have a mug ready to go. And it's funny.
That's awesome.
And yeah, yesterday the thing that John crashed my stream was like the first of late night chat streams. So I'm be doing more like more live, less Lego talks. While live streaming probably on Wednesdays or Tuesday evenings, which is like late for many of you or very early morning. But for me, it's going to be like California, 9 p.m. The reason being I'm coming back to the office actually very soon. Things are normalizing here in California. So I got vaccinated. I got my first shot, second shot coming end of April. Schools are opening. And with that in mind, I'm just starting commuting again and dropping my kids off to school. So I'm not sure, Sai, if I'm going to be able to join more those streams. If I am, then probably from the phone, from my lunch break in the office or something, but no more in studio probably as long as my office comes back to work. So that's a big change. So I'm kind of pushing the Cool Factor to like afternoon schedule of work and most of this stuff. So it's like you, Chris.
It's interesting, isn't it? Because it's like it's gone from like a lot of us have gone. The channels have changed during COVID, and then obviously
I'm not gonna lie, I was able to work more from home because like you end up your work day and it's so much quicker to switch to that hobby mode. So there is no commute. You just take a break, go get dinner, and you can come back within 30 minutes to work on your hobby, which is my channel. It's gonna change because my commute is longer. It's gonna be longer because I moved in the recent months, built this whole studio in a new place. So that's changing. So I'm moving my schedule more to like afternoons. But streams are like trying to do still weekend, Sunday streams, late night streams. Building streams will be also probably later afternoon as usual. They used to be before the pandemic. And coming back with the studio is upgraded. So I hope to film more content with new setups. So it's really exciting, pretty much. Yeah.
That sounds pretty
Keep
cool.
Mike talking.
I know. Yeah.
Sai, would you like to go to the bathroom, perhaps?
I thought you had read that. No, I'm fine. I'd be fine if Matt would stop talking about it. I'd forget about it. But every time I look down, it's
there's a block function in the chat. You know that, right?
Yeah, but I'm looking at StreamYard and it doesn't get rid of me.
You can hide people.
I just have to hide.
You can hide them, or you can time him out for like 5
Let's
minutes.
just talk about sets that have water in from Lego. That really nice Monkey King flower.
Hey, you guys have the Marks ship. It's like a very good, global shipping oceans shipping vessel. Lots of waves.
NINJAGO Gardens, I love the water that they put.
Oh yeah, the waterways. Those are great.
Nolik wants to say goodbye.
Ship in the Bottle had a lot of those like water droplets inside the ideas.
Look at his pajamas. What month is it? Like
Christmas.
It's Christmas. You wish it was Christmas.
It's Christmas now. Next holiday. Easter's
Yeah,
gone.
Happy Christmas, everybody.
I'll say goodnight to you in a minute, okay? See you later.
No wonder you're up so late. If your kids are up,
Right. What?
if your kids are up this late, no wonder you're up so late at night.
Chris said you're up too late and you should go to bed.
Way too late.
Okay, see you later. Bye. Go. Rain, help me.
How late is it for you? Like, Sai, do you ever sleep? Like, by the way, chat, Sai shows up to my streams like when I know it's like 4 a.m. for him. I have no idea where this guy sleeps. I'm worried for you, actually.
Yeah, it's 20 to midnight at the moment.
Dude.
Yeah. It's 20 to midnight, and now I have to have something to eat, chat to Lorraine, and then go and watch Mike in about 4 hours' time.
So,
I know, I'm only joking.
Sai's just getting ready for brunch.
Yeah, I love a bit of brunch now, to be honest. And mimosa and everything, yeah. Do you know what? We went into this place for brunch one time, and it was about 10 o'clock, and the lady said, do you want any drinks? And I said, yeah, I'll have a mimosa, please. Never had one before, and I didn't realize there was champagne in it, so I drank it. I was like, oh, geez, that's really nice. And got another, I think we had about another 3, €10 a pop.
Ooh.
Before we had brunch, and Lorraine was like, what the hell? So I think it was nearly £100 for brunch. But on that note, tomorrow I will be on London Bridge Bricks, on London Calling. On Saturday, myself and Greg will be on Tricky Bricks live stream with him and his husband, which will be brilliant. I'm looking forward to that. I hope I'm not stealing Greg's thunder. And then on Wednesday, it'll be on London Bridge Bricks again for the backlog. And we're going to be building some really hard sets. It's probably going to be 4+ again. And then here on Thursday again at 8:30. And I want to thank everybody for being here today who we're running a bit later than usual, which is good because the chat was great. One of my favorite live streams, this one was, guys.
That was fun.
Yeah, it was really good fun. I want to say goodbye to Brick Stage Pass, Knights Glen, FLX, Sir Bricks, Buzz Brick here, MG, MG. We had who else? We had Lorraine. We had 8 Jesus Life, Cranky Bricks, Bricks with Justin. He changed that name, did he? AV Bricks with Magic Koopa. We had Steph was in the chat. We had
Brick Heart was in as well. AV
Brick Heart was in as well.
Plastic Architect.
Yes.
Lego Madness.
By toilets. Gary was in. Mark was in. Lots of people trying to go to the toilet so badly. So I'll think about Red Carnage, who's here all the time. And if I missed it, Brett Bill, didn't even see you coming in. Hi, Brett. So hello and goodbye to everybody. Thanks everybody for being here. We love you lots and have a great day, night, evening, morning,